Bonjour YouTube. Comment vas-tu? Un retour sur discuter. Et aujourd'hui, nous allons continuer notre aventure près de l'église sur le lac gelé. Nous étions sur le point d'aller parler à ces gosses dans la tente. Alors, c'est parti.
Come on, get in. Sorry, we barely have room for one.
You go ahead. I'm too old for this. I'm
Too old
sure
for
you'll
this
be
shit.
right at home. I'll keep watch.
Allez, ouais, bien sûr. En vrai, je vais remettre... Voilà, c'est bon. Ouais, voilà, me voyez un peu. Oh, c'est la teuf ici. Moi aussi, je suis comme l'autre blondinet là. Je mets dans l'ambiance. Excusez-moi. J'étais pris dans la transe de la danse. Ça sent le sueur et la lessive et l'éther. Ah, ça se drogue bien ici. Des bidons remplis d'un liquide ressemblant à de l'eau sur l'étiquette et décrit distillé. Un haut-parleur comme ceux qu'on utilise pour les concerts. Et un tas de sprays sous le nez, nom de marque Nosafed Ultra. C'est fort ici, hein. Oh, vous inquiétez pas même pour moi, hein. Mais c'est dans l'ambiance. Lui, c'est le leader. On va parler à lui.
A young man with peroxide blonde hair holds up a Harman Welsh tape player, nodding along to the music. He looks at you with a knowing smile and says,
Hardcore!
Hardcore!
Hardcore! Hardcore to the mega!
Très bien.
Here comes the night!
could there have been a right way out of this garden of forking paths, you think?
Je peux essayer de trouver la bonne voie parmi toutes ces bifurcations. Hein? Résoudre l'énigme Deadhead.
The young man with
This is hardcore. It's hardcore! Skibbity, skibberdanger. I am the rearranger.
Et moi, c'est Harry. Et je suis pas là pour te montrer mon... Je suis nul à ça. Je suis nul à ça. Je suis nul.
Back to the heavyweight. Hardcore! Hardcore! Hardcore to the mega. Internally coherent. Encore! All right! Yeah!
he furrows his brow as his very large head traces the sublime invisible movement of the music in
Hardcore!
Hardcore! C'est check! C'est hardcore ici! Trop hardcore! Mais est-ce le cas? Il s'arrête net en penchant la tête sur le côté. Salut!
What is it? I mean, really?
Oh là, il va être relou lui. Oh là là, lui c'est une énigme. C'est ce que je me disais aussi.
I am the mic enforcer. I am the chicks checker.
Mais quoi?
We're close.
Oh là, il y a un... Attendez, il faut faire correctement. Alors là, il faut rien dire.
Hardcore!
Là, faut rien dire.
To the mega.
Là, faut encore rien dire.
Coherent.
Là, faut rien dire.
Hardcore! All right!
Là, là, je sais toujours rien.
he furrows his brow.
Hardcore! Ah!
Non, mais sérieusement, j'ai peur que ça le soit pas.
The question is, what is the question?
Ah non, mais... Oh là là. Là, c'est juste idiot.
But there was a question?
Voilà, c'est pas ça. Ok,
We're close. True. Hard.
rien dit.
Hardcore.
On continue à rien dire. On dirait toujours rien.
Internally coherent.
Là, c'est judiciaire, il va me dire...
Good morning, yeah. 1, 2, 3. Yakokata, the place to be.
Ok, nouveau dialogue. Mais il y a que un espace sinistré, une terre stérile et sauvage, ça doit sûrement pas trop de la balle, non?
Yakokata is a hardcore place.
An intricate system of irrigation networks pockmarking the earth. Intermittent seas of
Merci
phosphorus,
l'encyclopédie.
ripped tarpaulin fluttering in the wind. A pair of molten rubber boots also comes to mind. All in all,
Bon, évidemment, c'est vraiment un endroit hardcore.
We're close. True. Hard, internally coherent. Good morning, yeah. It's the message, so listen and you will see. No illusion. The spirit. We're close. True. Hard.
Ah ouais, on va se faire chier, hein. Ça, c'est parti, hein.
Core.
Je l'ai dit au début de l'œil, hein. Des fois, on passe 2 heures à parler à 2 PNJ, bah voilà.
Core to the internally. All core. All. Gotta get the people going. I'm the party boy. It's my job.
Ok, lui, c'est l'ambianceur.
Two on a track. Watch your back. Watch out for the heart attack.
Watch out for the heart attack.
True. Hardcore internally. All gotta get the people. Yeah. Request. I want everybody's.
C'est pas celui-là non plus.
Internally coherent. All gotta get the people. I'm the party boy. Hardcore party 25/7 beyond the winter's orbit style.
25 heures sur 25.
there is a place far away in Cutler, beyond a certain latitude, known as Winter's Orbit, where there are 25 hours in a day.
Wow.
It is a tremendously cold place, abandoned to drunks and failed rock stars, full of eternite, depression, and half-finished ski-flying hills. The Suru live there.
On en apprend tous les jours sur le lore, hein.
We're close.
Même en essayant de...
Hardcore. Yeah.
This young man adds a capital G before the H in his yegs and args. This produces a guttural Gutvaldi, or maybe it's not Gutvaldian. Maybe it's Oranese. Probably an homage to Oranje, where Arno van Eyck is from, judging by his name. Could you be listening to an Arno van Eyck creation right now?
C'est donc ce fameux Van Eyck que j'entends là.
You know about him?
Il articule quelque chose mais aucun son ne sort. Ses yeux sont ronds comme des soucoupes. On dirait que vous lui avez cloué le bec. Allez, Nick. Ouah, c'est qui le hardcore? C'est moi.
You know Van Eyck?
Oh là, j'ai trigger tout le monde là. Je suis un grand fan de Van Eyck. Ta copine Hassel me l'a dit. Ah, c'est vrai. Putain, mais c'était il y a la semaine dernière. Moi, j'ai oublié.
Good, good. The Advent?
Ah non, mince, faut pas
We're
dire.
close. True. Hardcore. Hardcore to the. Here comes the.
Non, c'était... Merde, c'était quand la brochure là?
We're close. True. Hardcore. Yeah.
This young man, or maybe it's not,
You know about? You know Van Eyck? Wow.
the skinny wraith looks at you with some disbelief.
C'est bien le chef, là.
So am I. So am I.
Il commence à secouer la tête pour que tout le monde comprenne.
Oh, is that why they call you Egghead? Because Egghead to the mega, the K became the G, the boy became the man. The Advent?
Ah, mais j'ai toujours pas résolu l'affaire. Donc, du coup, j'ai toujours pas résolu l'énigme d'Egghead. Mais si, bah, du coup, j'ai résolu l'énigme.
We're close. True. Hard. Full. Hardcore. Yeah.
This young, or maybe it's not,
The Y to the E to the A 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 to the G to the H to the exclamation mark.
C'est exclamation mark.
Yeah.
he missed one A.
I'm the hard rhymer, the track attacker, the mic enforcer, the sixth checker. I am the law.
Il vient de me voler ma phrase.
We're close.
Ah, il m'avait...
True.
Vous êtes en état d'arrestation.
Hardcore.
Mec, j'étais en état d'arrestation, mec.
Or maybe
The Y. Yeah.
he missed one.
It's nice to be important, but it's
Non, mais il a oublié un A. Il a dit ma phrase. La loi, c'est moi, c'est moi. La loi, c'est moi, c'est moi. C'est moi, c'est moi.
yeah.
This young, or maybe
You know about him? You know Van Eyck? Oh, well, it really is him. It's an honest-to-God Van Eyck beat. Well, actually, a reworking of a Peppy Popic and Arsos track. The Advent?
Ok, c'est pas par là qu'il faut qu'on aille.
True. Hard, internally all
he furrows his brow.
hardcore. Ah! Is it though? One mind, one spirit. There's
Oh putain.
Bit close.
Il y a déjà 10 minutes qu'on lui parle.
Full car. Hardcore, internally coherent.
Je connais les touches par cœur. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1.
But is it? I mean, really? No, but seriously, I'm a bit worried it isn't.
Non mais sérieusement, j'ai juste un peu peur que ce soit pas le cas. Il fronce ses sourcils puis il se remet à bouger la tête d'avant en arrière une fois de plus. Ah bah...
Don't be alarmed. Everything is okay. He isn't actually worried. Everything is still super hardcore. What he probably means is, it could be even more so.
There's nothing wrong with it. I'm still in love with the hardcore.
C'est un coup, il devient pensif.
Sometimes I just feel like anodic music is in its infancy, you know? For example, take this Arno van Eyck jam I've been pumping for the last month, and will continue pumping for the rest of 51. Isn't something holding it back from being hyper?
Il réfléchit un instant puis son expression s'éclaircit.
It's like it's only ultra.
C'est comme s'il avait seulement atteint le stade d'ultra
I
hardcore.
think it's super hardcore, but you're right. It's not hyper hardcore.
Oh merde, s'il lui manque le stade hyper hardcore.
If anything, it sounds a bit proto, like it's not fully formed yet. You might be a moribund alcoholic and a failed cop, but you are pretty certain a thing cannot be both proto and hardcore.
Wow! Culture cop!
Je suis le... Je suis une star.
I think you might be right, but how could it become hardcore then? I know it in my heart, but cannot think it in my head. If this is not hardcore, how could anything be?
Ça ressemble étrangement à une question. Je pense que la question était quelle est la question? Essaie de penser à quelque chose qui te pourrait rendre ce mix plus hardcore. Attends, je viens de me rappeler d'un truc. Je suis agent de police. Allez, mais je suis agent de police en fait. Je fais pas de la musique moi. Non, non, quelque chose d'extra, j'ai compris ce que ça voulait dire. Hein. Non, 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 nous on touche plus à ça, nous, c'est fini. C'est fini l'alcool et la drogue.
No! This is the answer! What? Guys, there's something happening in his head. Oh yeah! He's doing it!
But you're not. This is almost certainly a matter that surpasses the limits of reason.
I know! So does mine!
Putain, je me rappelle un truc, je suis agent de police.
Uh-huh.
Les jeunes semblent sur le point d'exploser d'impatience. En fait, ça va plus probablement nous gêner. D'ailleurs, j'ai une enquête à résoudre, j'ai pas le temps de consacrer à ces publicités.
Oh. Uh-huh. Oh. Yeah!
Il a même pas l'air déçu. T'as dit que tu étais inquiet, c'est quoi le problème? Tu dis dans les pensées. Votre corps parviendra-t-il à vous dire ce qui manque à ce mix d'Arno Van Eyck pour qu'il devienne plus hardcore? Ok. Tu dis dans les pensées.
No nation, but transnation. No war, but class war.
Oh, oui. Tu es pas dans le pensée, mais t'es communiste.
He's not a communist. It's just something he likes to yell. He picked it up from a tape jockey at the Palaceum. She was a communist, though.
Yeah! With the rebel yell!
Le communisme. Pourquoi t'es pas communiste? Le communisme, c'est la vérité.
I could be a communist.
Ah oui.
If you want that, do you want me to be a communist?
Oui.
Please don't turn him into a communist.
Oh yeah, turn him into a communist. Come on, it would be super.
Ne deviens communiste. Attends, qu'est-ce que je raconte? Bien sûr que tu dois devenir communiste. L'avenir a besoin de ton aide, deviens communiste. Vous pensez que c'est un communiste à présent?
I could be.
Please don't.
Oh yeah.
Don't be a lunatic. Of course he isn't. Jermaine here just yells random things. Odds are, sooner or later one of them will come off as fault reading.
Yeah!
Unless you were thinking Revershaw imperative right now. Anyway, I've had a similar thing happen with eggs yelling. I know what you mean.
J'étais justement en train de penser révachement impératif.
That's fucked up, man. Something like that. And a cop too.
Mais non.
Communism rules the nation.
Eglise dirige la nation. Vous regardez avec un sourire si grand et si intéressant qu'ils sont presque irréels. Pour voir si vous approuvez. Bien joué, camarade luminé. Oui, camarade. On y est presque. Un tout petit peu plus de conviction ne serait pas de trop.
The worker must move your ass.
Non, t'es toujours pas.
I'm sorry.
The young man drops his oversized head in shame. He is truly sorry he couldn't come up with a proletarian yell that would satisfy the great leader.
C'est moi, Karazmatov. Je n'ai pas ressenti l'ouvrier doit bouger son cul. Voilà, par exemple, ça, bizarrement, j'ai senti dans les paroles que c'est pas c'est pas ce quoi le peuple veut entendre, quoi. J'ai remarqué son vrai nom.
Hardcore. Jermaine Egghead.
Basically, yes it is.
Pourquoi il y a des poumons sur ta ceinture?
Lungs are for love.
C'est quoi le lien entre les poumons et l'amour?
When Dolores Day was anointed innocence, her lungs started glowing through her body. For the world loved her, and she loved it back.
Hein?
Yeah!
Why wouldn't they be? Are the lungs not the place where you hold the breath of your soul?
Vraiment?
I think so.
Eh bien, les poumons sont en haut où tu retiens le souffle de ton âme, n'est-ce pas?
Highly gaily. All right.
Je trouve vraiment ton instrument physique. Attendez. Déjà, j'ai rien qui le baisse là. Non. Ah, je peux avoir plus 1, non. Hop.
The large-headed,
Good morning, comrade. Yeah!
you know it in your lungs where the pressure should vibrate, in your heart that's alone, and in your solar plexus where the hits should land. So does
Plus de basse! Faut plus de basse!
What?
Le jeune homme fait un geste brusque comme s'il était sur le point de baisser le son. Mais ce serait ridicule de penser ça. Et une bonne mélodie rend n'importe quelle chanson accrocheuse. Avec une bonne mélodie, impossible de te sortir une chanson du crâne, des îles du crâne.
Wow. Okay. We should start with the melody. But where would we get that stuff from?
Après, je sais pas si tu
I'm
le sais.
sorry. I don't know anything about hypnotic music. I'm just the party boy. I get
he feels ashamed he can't be of more service to the future of dance music.
D'accord. D'accord, putain. Yes, encore une super tâche liée à notre quête de meurtre. Bien sûr, tout est connecté. Bien sûr, je vais essayer de finaliser cette musique. Et ça, bien entendu, tout est en rapport direct avec le meurtre. Car bien sûr, si j'ai réussi à rendre hardcore cette musique, ça sera un pas de plus vers la vérité sur le meurtre de l'autre. D'accord, je vais m'en occuper à titre officiel. C'est à la police de rendre les rythmes plus hardcore. Ouais, bébé.
The young man falls silent with appreciation. He even tries to contain his smile.
Basically, what you need to find here is a tape with some banging music on it, so that Egghead could use it to remix Van Eyck's jam.
Une bande avec de la musique qui claque.
Yeah, maybe that street talker across the pawn shop has got some tapes to sell. Anyway, that's all yours to figure out, Copman.
Copman!
Disco flic, oui, c'est bon. Ah, je trouve une bande. Non, elle arrache pas la bande que j'ai trouvée. Ouais, je peux pas leur donner pour le moment. Faut pas que je leur donne tout de suite parce que. Pas que je leur donne tout de suite parce que j'ai encore une quête liée à ça, moi.
You see a
Alors,
youngish
André.
bleaching the tips of his hair with a toothbrush. He puts the toothbrush down and extends.
Hello, I'm Andre. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Tiens.
His grip is strong, sweaty, and warm. He's trying to project and inspire
This is my posse, Noid.
J'ai entendu un autre mot en anglais. Hein, que tribu.
The young man with earrings looks at you suspiciously.
Ouh. C'est Noid.
An egghead. Egg!
Le manette au-dessus de sa tête crache un paquet de décibels d'une étrange musique. Ouais, bah, lui c'est bon, je lui ai parlé, j'ai résolu, je suis parti pour une enquête pour lui là. C'est bon.
Together with a settled burger who's out there right now doing some seriously progressive sonic experimentation, we like to think of ourselves as music venue organizers. We have many in the pipeline, officer.
That means they haven't set up a single one yet.
Que faites
You
ici?
see, we've been all over Jamrock North, prospecting for real estate to establish a new venue in.
Also for talent.
Yeah, thank you, Egghead. And while there is no shortage of raw, unfettered talent spinning tapes in Jamrock, we've had rotten luck with the real estate.
Place is a shithole.
I apologise for my friend Noid's potty mouth. I realise this is not how you speak to a police officer. He has authority issues.
Ah bah. Ah bah c'est bon, vous inquiétez pas, il y a pas. Kim il est pas là. Pas la peine de s'excuser, c'est dans sale état. Je suis parfois vu achetier son langage. Je peux faire quelque chose pour vous aider. Ton ami Assem m'a dit que tu avais un problème avec l'église.
Ah, so you've met her. Good, good. Yeah. It's a matter of occupied ecclesiastical property. I bet you've noticed the derelict hive of narcomania on the coast.
Ouais, d'accord.
I'm talking about the church. And I'm not exaggerating. Even a place of spiritual refuge can become a magnet for all sorts of dopeheads and burnouts if left.
Dopeheads. Burnouts.
Il crache sur une vis, l'air furieux, puis la nettoie aussitôt.
Well, I'm sad to say, that's exactly what happened. Sad because we were just about to put Martinez on the map with one of the maddest dance clubs in Jamrock. Nah, strike that. In Revershoal.
Strike that. The world.
The world!
And sadder yet, because the dopeheads and burnouts hold up in there are the worst kind.
He leans back a little, watching you with a steady, serious gaze, letting you imagine just how bad, good. This calls for an opinion. You're an expert in those.
Je ne tolérerai aucun narcoleptique. Les narcomaniacs n'ont qu'à bien se tenir. Je vais m'en occuper.
Yes, yes. And the worst part is, they're also spooky.
Y a pas de mobiliser la police pour s'occuper d'une affaire de genre. Ça, c'est flippant.
I was hoping you would be the judge of that, officer. All I can say is, their spookiness is the kind that keeps us from restoring this church into a community centre and a place of spiritual refuge.
Also, they don't eat or clean the building. Shit's gonna. People just wanna spin tapes without them spooking it up. Place has bad signs. No one can dance like that.
Thank you, Egghead. So you're gonna look into it, right? It should be a police matter. Getting them out. Whatever spooky stuff they're doing, I'm sure it's not what the Ecclesiastes meant their property for.
Je vais mener l'enquête, donnez-moi plus de détails.
All right, man.
C'est... Attendez, non mais c'est... Alors, bon, on lit aider les fêtards à monter une boîte de nuit, on pourrait penser que ça n'a rien à voir avec l'enquête sur le meurtre. Mais... c'est le relié. C'est relié, voilà. Vous verrez. Non mais vous verrez le moment venu, vous comprendrez mieux à ce moment-là. Je peux pas tout vous dire maintenant, tu vois. C'est lié.
Andre's obviously very happy you took him seriously. The whole tent is. The boys exchanged giddy looks.
Ok, test trouve l'église, je suis pas encore entré dans le bâtiment.
I asked Noid to install a measure against more drifters wandering in. A padlock. It's a temporary.
I had to do it in an hurry. Not my best work.
Et la clé?
Of course. Noid.
All right.
You sense the trajectory of the little piece of metal and plastic. The object makes a small ringing sound as it approaches. Just the time.
Ouais, tu n'es...
Ka-ching. The key
Ka-ching.
hits your palm. The speed freak
Se baigner dans la gloire.
groovily.
Merci mec, c'est la joué cool.
The speed freak nods to you.
Allez. Depuis combien de temps se se faire enfermer là-dedans?
Like a week, maybe?
Ah mais... Attendez, attendez. Attendez, j'ai pas tout très bien compris. Il y a des gens dans l'église là? Et vous avez... Vous les avez enfermés dedans? Ah oui, non, mais en fait, bientôt, c'est genre juste du nettoyage qu'il va la faire, en fait. C'est cool pour une initiative, comme c'est dit, c'est un comportement citoyen approprié. Bien sûr, enfermer des gens dans une église, c'est bien approprié.
I'm super sure they're alive. I mean, come on. I'm at least 90%.
Somewhere in the ruinous past that led you here, there was something called exams. You may have learned the term involuntary manslaughter there.
Oh putain. Être sûr à 85, ça passe, personne n'est éternel, gamin. Adré, est-ce que tu sais ce qui signifie homicide involontaire?
Yes, I do. I listen to Channel 8 all the time. I know about crime stuff, and I assure you, officer, this is not what's happening here. I'm at least 80% sure they're alive. I mean, come on. Most people aren't ever that alive in their entire lives.
De quoi parles-tu, jeu?
I don't know. What does anything mean, really?
Oh, yeah.
Ouais, je veux que tu en dire. C'est n'importe quoi.
You're right. It is nonsense. Total garbage. I knew you'd see through it. You're one smart cop.
Est-ce que j'en étais avec ce calme?
Nods attentively, ready to answer the questions of one smart cop.
Sure, man. Tell us what you want to know.
Du coup, qui sont les gens à l'intérieur? Ça va être drogué, c'est ça?
Truth is, I don't really know. None of us do. I don't even know how many there are. All we've seen are glimpses.
Ça se trouve, il y a des moines. Ça se trouve, il y a des moines qui vivent tranquillement en ermite dans l'église et ils les ont enfermés. Tu les as même pas vus et tu veux impliquer la police dans tes histoires?
Well, there's also the machinery.
C'est machine.
When I first scouted the place, back in February, it was abandoned, empty. Took some time getting the crew together. So about 2 weeks ago, we came here hoping to set the stuff up. Suddenly, there are all these strange machines lying.
One of them has wires running into bowls of water. Wires into water. Never seen anything like it.
Andre, tell him about the feeling.
Quoi? Et qu'est-ce qui se passe dans cette église?
Oh, and it felt like there was something in there with us, watching us from the dark.
No,
Which other one? I'm not as in tune with my emotions as you are.
felt like silence. Awful silence.
J'ai vu personne?
Not exactly. We've just seen someone who we think is a woman go in and out of the church. A couple of times. And we felt someone or something eyeing us inside. But that's kinda it.
Oh là 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 là, mais dans quoi je vais embarquer encore? Vous avez vu, c'est tout connecté. On part sur l'idée de, on va les aider à créer une boîte de nuit, mais finalement on va découvrir qu'en fait il y a Frankenstein dedans et que c'est lui qui a tué notre, voilà, tu vois. Non mais tout est lié dans l'univers. Est-ce que c'est cette histoire de choses qui vous opérait?
Like you aren't alone, you know?
It wasn't quite human, if you know what I mean.
Not human, as in a ghost. Do you know what he means?
It was this dark shape climbing upside down along the ceiling, like some kind of crab man.
Un homme crabe, mais on est dans... Mais... on est dans South Park.
Yeah, you know, the way it was climbing up and around the ceiling, like a crab.
It was stalking a cell, exhibiting ambush behavior.
Odd. Crabs are usually marine creatures and not known for climbing.
C'est sûr qu'il y avait un homme crabe. Comportement d'embuscade. Homme crabe. Ok, d'accord.
Crab man! Yeah, totally. I mean, I didn't personally see it. Estelle was alone that time, but I believe her. If she comes out right,
So he hasn't even been in there lately. Is he afraid?
Oh, le mec il fait genre.
You should ask her about it, but be nice. Don't tell her you don't believe in the crab.
There probably is no crab man. Don't let them draw you in with this nonsense.
C'est compliqué de discuter avec des camés. Hein. Tu peux me dire un peu plus sur ces machines?
talked annoyed about that. I just got a distinct burnout and dopehead sign from them. Probably jacked up to some snuff station too. Probably, very likely.
Quand tu dis ça, ces gens sont des paumés, des camés. Si tu n'as rien vu.
Well, honestly, I can't.
This is a below feeble attempt at avoidance. Basically, he is attempting to weaponize idiocy.
J'aurais ajouté idiotie à mon répertoire d'armes.
Hey now, I'm 70% sure they're substance abuse. Don't let all that.
Beaucoup de pourcentage dans ces phrases, lui. Hein.
Where do you think the drugs
T'es
come
mathématicien, toi, dans la vie ou...
from? Sure. What?
Vous avez dit que l'église appartenait à des ecclésiastiques. Qui sont ces
Oh,
gens?
yeah. That's a meteor and name for the founding party. Thought it'd be cool to use it.
Parti fondateur.
If you don't know what the founding party is, there might be a way to mask it with minor demagoguery.
Plus ou moins subtilement. Mais c'est quoi le parti fondateur? Non, je déconne. Ou peut-être pas.
You know, of Meteo. Concerning Meteo.
Ah, météo.
Meteo, a country on Muindi. On the Muindi Isla.
One of the poorest of the first world nations today, but once a great ancient civilization. Capital, Tilakos by Percentic.
D'accord.
Come to think of it, I've never really looked them up, you know. I can't give you a precise definition, but they're a very powerful religious organization.
Toi l'autre.
They have roots in ancient mass society, and they're the custodians of the Pericanassian church. Plus, they anoint the innocents. They, like, made the innocentic system, no?
Je suis pas sûr qu'ils apprécient comment on dit les dans leur église.
You're totally wrong about
The Pericanassian church is about love. And Nordic music is about love. I got love for my Pericanassian posse. Love is the relay out of death.
Ouais,
We
pas.
dance.
Secoue vigoureusement la magnétolecteur comme si vous voulez vérifier la résistance de l'appareil.
Love is hardcore.
Ah, c'est bon.
unity. Unity.
Make some noise for my Insulindian posse.
Il monte le volume et vous lance un regard entendu comme s'il il était évident que vous alliez vous mettre à danser.
You feel it. The anodes and the cathodes coursing through you. Your big toe starts tapping along to the bass. As if
Il y a un dire à profiter de la musique. Je comprends rien à cette histoire de tribu de loulou. De loulou. L'amour, ça peut carrément être hardcore, c'est sûr. J'ai mes doutes, mais c'était idiot. Tout devient clair à présent. L'indique musique prône l'amour, tout comme l'église périgue. Voilà.
feels good.
Feels good.
Oh yeah, he's coming around. You're getting it. That's pretty downbeat. I think I speak for all of us when I say we expected the law to be more open to the idea of love, unity, and the... Yeah, I know you don't. So, you got...
The one with the large head is still looking at you, nodding his head, waiting for your body to start moving. His
Yes. What?
Je veux que t'as apporté ta propre eau.
Yeah, good to have, bitch to carry. When I first scouted the place, I did some reconnaissance. I'm not sure the church even has running water.
En plus, c'est de l'eau distillée.
Oh. It's the one they sell at the fuel station.
Ouais.
It's like he's lying to you, my liege. But he's slippery enough that there's nothing for you to grab hold of.
Et de quoi avec tout ce Nosafed?
The what now?
Le flacon de Sprenazed en angle. Nosafed Ultra. J'en vois tout un flacon là-bas.
Oh, the old Ultra. We...
He's like an actor, looking to the souffleur for his line.
I have a major sinus infection. Stuffy nose.
Ah,
We
oui.
all do. Shit's all blasted up. Winter. Can't even breathe. Yes, that's all Nosafed's doing. Without the Noser, I'd be drowning in shit right now.
Nosafed is the shit.
Je peux en avoir moi aussi, j'ai des problèmes de pif.
Sure. Here you go, officer. The Noser. Blast away. It does. That told you we have a smell problem.
Il prend un morceau de cordon téléphonique et l'inspecte. Attends, je sens aussi une odeur d'éther. Pourquoi?
Ether? I don't smell ether. No.
Ouais. Bien sûr.
He sniffs the air. It doesn't take a forensic scientist to guess it's drug related. They look and act like the kind of guys who've done their fair share. However, their breathing is regular, their jaws stay put and their pupils aren't dilated. So, not under the influence right now.
Ok.
At least not under the influence of stimulants. That doesn't rule out hallucinogens, benzos, some depressants. How do you know all this?
Expérience, c'est l'expérience.
He nods enthusiastically, no doubt a little relieved.
Vous est convaincu d'être la narconamie est une plaie. Logique. Putain, j'ai beau avoir 600 logique. Et bon, en vrai, tout s'annule, hein, les bonus, tous mes bonus s'annulent. C'est quand même que 17% de chance, quoi.
As always,
La logique, elle est là, plus 1. Est-ce que je peux avoir plus que plus 1 en logique? Tiens, plus. Voilà, comme ça, j'ai encore un peu plus en logique. Hop, encore plus en logique. Tiens, c'est vraiment... c'est vraiment la scène en vrai. Genre, juste, je me change devant eux. Je change de t-shirt, je change de veste, et je vous les reparle.
hi again. So, how things going?
Well, first of all, you're a smart cop, and a smart cop like you would understand if something wasn't quite right. Indeed. So one of them came upon the abandoned church. They want to turn it into a club for dance music, but agents of narcomania plus, and it has to be considered. You can't invent the future of dance music in this smelly old tent. Imagine if you had the church. That settles it. Analysis complete. Their story checks out.
As always. Hi again. So, how things...
Nothing checks
Ah.
out. How about you get out?
As always. So you had a talk with Andre, and now you want to discuss things with Noid. Good.
Sa peau est visible à travers les trous du pull trouvant du camion du speed. Devant lui se trouve une boîte à outils ouverte, pleine d'outils de menuiserie et de
It's
pièces.
good you talked to Andre first. Gave me time to get a reading on your sign. Can't really talk to people before you get a reading.
Place la main dans ses cheveux, coiffé en arrière et continue à biouler des engrenages. Sinusoïde? Mais sinusoïde? Mais mon nez?
Yeah, gotta compare. See if we can align. I
Intéressant.
suck at socialising, man. Even now, our sign synchronisation is way off. But I'll see what I can do.
Continue à regarder ses outils. Parle-moi de cette machine que tu as vue dans l'église.
Weird stuff. Specialised. There was a data processor and some sort of long wave machinery. Wires going into water. Gives off a spy sign. Or some fucked up Samaran science sign. You know, the kind that goes head first into the supernatural.
The People's Republic of Samara is a product of Revachel's sister revolution on the Grand Isola. It's known as a severely degenerated rogue state.
I know, man. I was just talking
Est-ce que le problème avec le
about
supernatural?
nothing's wrong with it. You should definitely be researched.
Le surnaturel, tu penses que c'est réel, que ça existe vraiment?
Most of it doesn't exist, but there's also stuff that isn't allowed to exist because the moralists think it's too dangerous. Psionic powers, pale-related diseases, pretenders pretending to be human, folk rights, that kind of stuff.
Quoi, tu t'appelles Noid?
The hardcore aesthetic is esoteric. It's not meant to be discussed with the law at this moment.
Enfin, ouais, c'est une espèce de gadget, je comprends pas ce que tu veux dire.
I can see that. Further sign matching would do good for us. One way to achieve sign
Allez, les quêtes, quoi. Bon, allez. C'est qui? Je retourne parler à...
Shabby-haired girl kneels on the
So you talked to my associates, right? Are you going to help us?
J'ai d'abord quelques
Who's it
questions à te
there?
poser.
Shoot.
On dit que tu avais fait un tour dans l'église, qu'est-ce que tu as vu?
Oh, that. You're not going to believe me. There's no point.
She's less prone to blurt it out, crab man, than the others.
On verra, vas-y, explique-moi tout.
Okay. I went in and I saw a woman next to one of those machines there. Noid calls it a mainframe. She was dressed like someone who's been raised by their grandmother, you know, strange old clothes. Had this absent expression, didn't say anything, just stood still.
On a rencontré une gamine qui portait les vêtements de sa grand-mère. Celle qui voulait faire de l'art, là. Ok.
And then, you know, right behind her, a man crawled down the wall, upside down like a crab, down the church wall. I think the woman didn't even know he was there. He was complete. He stopped right before he got to the floor, then just hung there like that, looking at me, right at me. I fucking turned.
Like a crab, you say?
Maintenant, hoche la tête, son visage est impassible. À quoi ressemblait cet homme crabe?
It was too dark. I couldn't tell exactly.
Come on. She obviously could. She already went into detail.
Allez, arrête de te fier à quoi il ressemblait.
He looked like a banger, okay? He was all muscular and stuff. Had a mesh tank top. I know it sounds ridiculous, but that only made it scarier in a way.
A crab and a banger?
Maintenant, il avait un sourcil.
Yes, a banger. As in a mess gang member. I know what it sounds like, but that's what I saw.
Un homme crabe gangster.
I don't blame you. I mean, I wouldn't believe me either. I'm surprised Noid did. Andre I expected, but Noid.
Il faudrait que tu m'en dises plus sur tes associés.
My associates. I haven't got much to say about them.
Continue de répondre, s'il te plaît. Comment ça, tu sais vraiment des choses sur eux?
Of course I do. I just don't tell people about my friends and who they are and so on. I don't provide information on them.
To the cops.
Sinon, tu n'as qu'à me parler de toi.
Me? I'm a silver bird.
A silver bird feels strangely familiar. Was it an expression? And if yes, then for what? Then your mind slips and the thought is gone.
Ouah, je m'en souviens pas là.
Don't know what makes you think it'll be any different later, but
Je sais pas, mais ce qu'on verra peut-être plus tard, une fois que vous les aurez aidés à monter la boîte de nuit. Ok. Donc l'église est juste là. Ok. À votre droite, c'est un cormoran au ventre blanc, vous regarde avec méfiance. Le cormoran là. Je t'en mets une, moi. Là, il y a de l'argent, là. Ok, donc là, il y a l'entrée de l'église. On va faire le tour déjà. On inspecte toujours les alentours avant. Bon, d'accord. Il y a un bunker. C'est vrai, ça va faire tourner la machine arrière. Le bâtiment qui se dresse devant vous abritait le moteur. Ça doit être un sacré morceau. Ah, le moteur, c'est ça la machinerie. La chaîne s'enfonce dans l'océan jusqu'à ce qu'on sait, jusqu'à on ne sait où. Ce bar a été géré et en place encore le mazout. C'est quoi toute cette machinerie? Des magots de cigarettes de la marque Kiyomamatai sous un rocher. Quelqu'un a fait un peu de camp ici il y a longtemps. Un moitié de commande rouillée et cassée sous le pylône de la radio. Cette échelle est trop rouillée pour pouvoir monter dessus, elle a été rongée par l'air marin. Ok, une antenne radio ici. Foulard parfumé. Plus 1 en frisson, mais moins 2 en instrument physique. C'est pas de petits crêques au loin avec les piquettes de... Ce léger foulard de mi-saison soit un parfum pour homme et la lessive bon marché. Son porteur a dû l'oublier après un rendez-vous galant. En tout cas, c'est l'accessoire idéal pour laisser l'hiver au placard. Ok. Note à vous-même Tiumuriti, ça vous semble important. Et si à un moment on rencontre quelqu'un qui fume des Timuriti, il est passé par là. Hop, et un pôle blanc. Puissant en rhétorique, mais -1 en empathie. Ce polo usé ne sent plus vraiment la rose. Franchement, pourquoi abandonner ce genre de choses dans un récipient consigné? Y a-t-il seulement des hommes qui portent des polos? Encore un mystère qu'on ne résoudra pour le moment jamais. D'où vient le mot polo? T'avais quelque chose par là? Non. Ok. Continuez à faire un peu le tour. On est allé au plus loin qu'on pouvait. Je sais pas pourquoi je dézoome pas. Et tout a l'air de voir tout un entrepôt et tout là. D'où vient de l'ouest la source en amont un tuyau cassé. Oh putain, il y a des gens là. Le paroxysme de la conception architecturale axée sur le besoin. Oula, mais ah mais c'est nos copains. Les cages minuscules construites avec minutie. C'est nos copains les crypto-monnaies. Cette bûche détrempée est une odeur d'essence, mais elles ne peuvent pas prendre feu. Elles peuvent quand même prendre. Ces lourds barrages militaires sont criblés de balles et se désagrègent. Une bouée flotte dans l'eau, elle porte le numéro 11. Bonjour messieurs! C'est moi le cryptozoologue.
There's a cylinder on the ground in which the man is arranging some netting. It looks like some...
Who's there? Oh, the police. Hello, officers.
His self-conscious enthusiasm renders his movements ungainly. He looks like your understanding of a scientist.
Is that the police? Why are the police here?
We're looking for you.
Don't worry, Gary. I'll handle it.
Tu vas être moral de cryptozoologue.
To what do I owe the pleasure?
That's sarcasm. He takes no pleasure from your appearance.
Il n'a pas l'air enchanté de croiser un monde de la MCR.
Oh no, it's all right. I'm just busy.
Derrière mon voix, ça fait du souci et souhaite que vous rentriez.
Of course. Thank you for passing along the message. That damn water lock is broken, and we can't go all the way around the 881.
Elle est réparée. Je serai pas là sinon.
The 881 is a raised motorway that separates Martinez from Jamrock. The labyrinth of streets underneath it makes it difficult to pass. Not like walking over a nice water lock.
Ouais, c'était ma faute, j'ai endommagé l'église avec mon automobile, mais elle est réparée maintenant, on peut partir. Ne me pas raconter ce qui t'est arrivé.
Oh, good. We should really be getting back. Gary.
Did he say we can go back now?
Yes, Gary. We can go soon. If you see Lena, tell her I won't be long.
Sir, your wife is waiting for you.
I just have to do one more round. See if the phasmid has taken the bait. Then we go in.
Il recommande une mec qui s'était décérée sous l'effet du vent.
His hands are large and weather-worn, but also used to delicate, precise work.
Parlez-moi de ces fameux phasmidés.
Well,
Ah non, on est
first
parti
of
encore
all,
pour
it's
8 ans!
difficult to find, which is why we've been knee deep in the reeds laying traps for it.
Pourquoi est-ce difficile à dénicher?
Good question. Being a phasmid of the order Phantasmodea, a ghost insect, it disguises itself as plant matter. In this case, the reeds. Awful lot of reeds around, aren't there?
Oh bah... des roseaux quoi.
And I suspect it may have also developed other specialized techniques to protect itself from predators or scientists.
Ouais, bien sûr.
Present case.
Ça paraît normal dans l'évolution de la bestiole qu'ils ont Développer des trucs pour des mécanismes de défense pour les scientifiques. Quels sont les mécanismes de défense dont sert la plasmide pour se cacher?
My hypothesis that it has evolved certain electrochemical defenses that allow it to interfere with animal perception, impeding pattern recognition. But I cannot describe how these defenses work, much less how they evolve.
Quelle est la taille du phasmidé?
Live specimen. I'm expecting it to be quite giant. One known species of phasmid, called the Megaphasmodea zoensis, is about the size of a grown man's forearm. So,
Il vous laisse tirer votre propre confusion. Oh ouais, c'est grand! Hop, terminé. Trouver ma morale, cryptozoologue. Pourquoi est-ce que ce phasmidé vous fascine autant? Il y a forcément d'autres animaux intéressants, non?
typical rookie assumption. Insects are much more sophisticated creatures than those unversed in zoology give them. Even simply catching a glimpse of the Insulindian phasmid would be the apex of my, of any cryptozoologist's career. But to study it and its defenses, find out how it stayed hidden so long.
Qu'avez-vous découvert jusqu'ici?
Very little, I'm sorry to say. No one's ever captured a specimen, so all our information is.
Personne n'a jamais réussi à le surprendre.
Not yet. That's what makes it.
Ah, si pas dans une enquête d'essayer d'en attraper un.
Just out of curiosity, if there's no proof of its existence, how do you know it's real?
Des. Non, j'ai raté le coche.
I know it's real.
Il lance. Sa réponse est si sèche que même lui semble pris au dépourvu.
It's clear that his obsession with the phasmid is driven by something more than the pure pursuit of scientific advancement.
By which I mean, I've heard enough first-hand accounts to believe quite firmly that the Insulindian phasmid is more than mere superstition.
Après un an, quelqu'un l'a aperçu à Martinez. Peut-être que le phasmidé incident s'est éteint.
Yes, the most recent sighting was by a couple of teenagers along the coast here. It's the first credible sighting in several decades. Admittedly, it's an unusual location for this species, but with all the sewage runoff upstream, it probably doesn't matter much anymore.
Peut-être qu'il s'est éteint. Hein.
I have to resist the thought. Such an extraordinary creature is doubtlessly highly resilient. After all, it's generally thought to be capable of parthenogenesis.
Je comprends rien à ce que tu dis,
He
mec.
means asexual reproduction.
Ah,
Females of the species don't need to mate to produce viable eggs. This makes it easier for a species with a small population to survive.
clever boy. C'est un crime contre la passion et la raison. Malin.
Yes, the Insulindian phasmid is a very clever insect. That's why it's so damn difficult to catch. But as a scientist, I'll try my best to remain dispassionate.
Après moi de ces pièges du coup maintenant.
Well, they may not look impressive, but Lena designed them quite cleverly, so I'm sure they'll do the trick.
C'est Elena qui a conçu les pièges.
Yes,
Et il te répond sans fierté. Comment marchent les pièges?
simple. Attracted by the locusts, the phasmid crawls down the funnel and, having eaten its fill, can get back out. At least, that's the intention. The net isn't a perfect solution, but we didn't want to use anything that might damage the specimen's delicate
Que vous utilisez comme appât? Bah il vient de le dire, des sauterelles.
locusts. Nearly all known phasmids are herbivores, of course. But we've hypothesized.
Inside the traps, a number of locusts crawl and tumble over one. A meat-eating stick insect. Does it pretend to be the reeds as part of its ambush behavior? This seems unlikely.
Thank you for your opinion. We have also included plant material in the traps to satiate your skepticism.
Qu'est-ce qu'on doit faire si les pièges ne marchent pas?
They'll work, I assure you. The predatory hypothesis, using locusts as bait, accounts for the failure of previous efforts by other teams.
The traps do seem to be deftly and thoughtfully constructed. It's clear the cryptozoologist's wife knows what she's doing.
Je vais vous poser une autre question.
Yes. What?
Comment êtes-vous devenu cryptozoologue?
I've just always liked animals and puzzles. Searching for cryptids is a bit of both.
Attendez. C'est un rêve de gosse qui devient arrêté si je comprends bien. Pourquoi c'est pas construit de la zoologie? Les vrais animaux sont les vrais animaux. Ah, vous dites j'ai découvert un cryptide. C'est quoi un cryptide?
It's not child's play, just because I have to trade through the mud every so often. No. Very few cryptids are ever discovered, and not for a lack of trying. To stay hidden is a cryptid's primary quality.
Combien de cryptides ont été découverts?
Of the list of cryptids kept by the Cryptozoological Society of Chemnee, which is 4,082 items long, about 2,000 have been confirmed as hoaxes. 2 are categorized as confirmed discoveries. The rest are in differing stages of discovery, refutation, and data collection.
Il n'y a que 2 phasmidides dont l'existence a été confirmée.
The Chateauquin forest pygmy, who turned out to be an extinct species of primate, and a cave salamander from Grad, who is, honestly, quite unremarkable. It's in a zoo somewhere.
Okay.
We cryptozoologists are brutally honest with ourselves, more so even than the public. With cryptids, most cryptids are hoaxes or they are never found. That does not mean we should stop searching.
2 sur 4000, ça représente même pas 1%. Qui c'est phasmidien insuffisant sur le 3e.
Indeed. If our expedition is successful, every paper in the world will report on it, from Revachol to Dushantu.
He has clearly done his math on this. There is no surprising him or swaying his opinion.
Yes?
Là, c'est vraiment bon.
All right.
We would have to discuss. He wants to say, but decides against it.
No offense, officer, but I'm not much of a pedagogue. I don't know what I would have done if Lena hadn't persuaded me. Me? I'm not a people person, unless you haven't noticed. And I don't make a good lecturer.
Si, je l'ai vu.
My strength lies in field work and persistence. By all means, and I'm eager to return to her, I assure you. But I can't leave before we finish. My wife understands that just as well as anyone.
Come on, Morale. We've been soaking out here for...
And leave the traps? Absolutely not.
Come on, she wants us back. I'm soaked up to my nuts over here. We'll both catch reed crabs if we don't dry out soon.
What? Let Lena down? Sounds like the cryptozoologist's wife shares a special connection to the Phasmid Summit.
C'est pas que Lena accorde autant d'importance aux phasmidés.
Of course it's important to her. She's seen it. A verified sighting, on record. One of only 4 this century, and it's...
She's seen it?
Quoi? Mais elle nous l'a pas dit, ça.
Yes, that's how we first came to know one another, in fact. But that's her story to tell, not mine. Suffice to say, it's long been our dream to find proof of the Insulindian phasmid together. I can't abandon.
Putain, il est en train de décéder le monsieur. Et si on retourne au wing, le temps de vous réchauffer, quitte à revérifier les pièges plus tard.
No. The traps need to be monitored on a regular schedule. What would we do if the phasmid were to starve while we were sipping tea at the...
I could go for some trap setting.
Bon, peut-être vous aider à vérifier les pièges. Oh là 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 là. Donc on se lance encore.
I didn't expect you to take such an interest in our work here, officer.
La cryptozoologie et le métier d'enquêteur sont très similaires. Je suis un disciple du chaos, ma méthode s'en inspire.
Yes, indeed. Both require a great deal of research,
Ah oui.
attention to detail, and, above all, persistence.
Tout est lié. Je vous l'ai dit, tout est lié. Où sont les pièges?
There are 4 in total. One is to the south, on this little peninsula, by the boathouses there. It's very near. Another we set in Land's End, to the northeast. It's behind a small sand dune there, on your way to the old radio. The third is set near the canal, where you crossed, by a concrete slab. A big thicket of reeds going up. You should check at least one of those before returning to this one, since I just said it. This one's more of a technicality, but still, better safe and stupid than sorry.
That seems like a lot. Do we really have time for this extracurricular venture?
La reconnaissance justifie à elle seule cette quête.
Is it?
Il n'a pas l'air très emballé que ça, mais son petit haussement d'épaule semble vous indiquer qu'il n'est pas entièrement réfractaire non plus. Je suis censé faire quoi si je trouve un phasmidé dans ces pièges?
Bring it to me at once. Just make sure the trap is close to...
He's not comfortable with the possibility that you'll claim the find, but he's lying about this even to himself.
Qu'est-ce que je suis censé faire si je tombe nez à nez avec un phasmidé dans la nature? Ah,
That's highly unlikely, officer. But in the event you do, I'll spray you with a pheromone mixture I developed. It's made of musk and research chemicals. The pheromone should attract the insect to you, or at least prevent it from bolting at the sight of you. It's quite potent. Will last you about a week.
Comment appliquer une dose? Comment appliquer une double dose?
Wise choice.
I hope you're not buying this. He dispenses it without letting you touch the canister, so it would be precious like holy water.
It is precious. The single dose cost me 50 real to develop. Not that I expect you to understand self-financing one's own research.
Right. Which means you two can pack up and go back to the work.
Whatever he thinks about this detour, it's clear that these men are exhausted.
Finally, someone's talking.
Thank you for your help. Gary and I will start breaking down camp. If you have any more questions, now's the time.
What about his eager to leave friend Gary there? Talk to him too, perhaps.
Ouais, je vais lui parler. Bonjour Gary.
Hello, I'm Gary.
Et je sais que t'es
Very
Gary.
generous of you to help us out, officer.
Dans le timbre de sa voix, il a le même timbre de voix que Gary, l'escargot de Bob l'éponge, je trouve.
Yellow man. I mean, officer.
Yellowman. Attends, c'est parce qu'il est de... Il est typé? Vraiment?
The lieutenant raises his eyebrows slightly. Yellow man. Interesting. This is something to ask him about.
I'm just waiting for my friend Morel to finish up with his insect traps so we can return to civilization.
Il n'aime pas les grands espaces?
I like nature, just not this bloody coast. It's mostly drunks and degenerates that come here.
Degenerates. This man respects authority too much. To see the truth inscribed upon thine own visage. Pretend thou art a paragon of virtue.
suis ni l'un ni l'autre, vous pouvez me croire, je suis un banal représentant de la loi, tout ce qu'il y a de plus sobre. Même les psychotropes ne me tentent pas, c'est dire. Si vous différez des dégénérés, vous parlez de mes poteaux là. Oh! Et là, je suis probablement un ivrogne ou un dégénéré, voire les deux. Personne n'est parfait, je suis certain que vous avez déjà tenté de boire un verre.
Oh, I've been tempted. But someone has to stay strong for Revocall.
He pronounces Revocol with a hard K, unlike other people.
Rico, vous avez dit?
I like to pronounce it the hard way. The old way. The Vespertine way.
The stupid way.
Comme font les pignoufs.
He winks at you, trying to relay some hidden message, inviting you to mispronounce it too, perhaps. It's odd. It's a secret rite. A very fringe nationalist handshake, probably.
Vous êtes aussi cryptozoologue?
No, no. I help Morel with research sometimes, and I've learned some things along the way.
There probably is a follow-up to this, but you can't think of any. Doesn't matter. Waste of time anyway. Gotta keep moving.
J'ai l'air étonné de voir mon collègue
Not
Kitsimari.
many Sealites here, or anywhere, other than Sale.
Do you remember how, when we met Measurehead and I said the next races will be a really good one?
Juge Caboche, je vous ai dit que le prochain assist ne ferait pas semblant. Oui?
Well, this is that racist.
Tiens, oui, c'est vrai, notre assist porte-bonheur.
Hey, man. All I meant was there are not many Sealites around here. I'm just stating a fact.
Le lieutenant vient de Revachol, pourtant. Ah ouais?
Oh, yes. Of course he is. I was just speaking about his connections.
Sounds like some conspiracy topic. You might be able to discuss it with him when the lieutenant isn't here.
Oh là là, non.
You can remember it.
On va partir dans un délire.
Return without the lieutenant. For this, your balance organ thinks it's a waste of
Oh,
time.
moi aussi, oui. Moi aussi.
My mug? Why would you think that?
Vous avez dit homme jaune, c'est pas très courant comme expression. Il y avait de la nostalgie dans votre voix quand vous avez dit homme jaune. Je sais que vous avez reconnu, vos yeux vous ont trahi.
I may have had a similar looking mug in the past. That's all.
C'est quand même... Au fait, j'ai oublié de vous dire que la tasse a été retrouvée sur le lieu d'un lynchage.
Okay, I admit it. I threw the mug away in the trash container behind the hostel. I know I shouldn't have, and I am very sorry, officer.
Mais le parrain de la pègre, il a un problème contre vous aussi, par contre. Hein.
You're not going to find me, are you?
Non, Gary, je veux obtenir des renseignements, c'est tout. Ah, putain, je peux me faire de la thune quand même. Mais les renseignements, ça n'a pas de prix.
Whew. Thank you. You won't regret this. I don't know what got into me, really. Work has been stressed.
What did you do, Gary?
Nothing. Just answering some questions.
Comment on fait pour ouvrir la benne à la ordure?
I know a guy who works with the trash collection services, CS Municipal. He gave me a master key for the trash containers of Martinez.
Pourquoi cherchez-vous à accéder à l'ensemble des ordures ménagères de la ville?
So I can use the Whirling's trash compactor to store my own stuff. Garbage disposal is expensive as hell. The damn Chimeans run it like a mob. I'm sorry, okay? I thought I could cut costs. I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have disgraced myself.
Disgraced? No need for the histrionic, sir. It was, after all, just a trash container.
He studies his reaction. Gary doesn't answer.
Est-ce que vous avez mis des vêtements de l'homme qui a été lynché derrière le Winning dans la benne à ordures?
Officer, please. Let me explain. I was only cleaning up. I live right across the yard from where he was hanged. and I saw him stripped naked. All the clothes lying around in the yard, smelling. People are animals, you know?
Mais qu'est-ce que vous avez fait? C'est noté. Qu'est-ce que vous avez fait ensuite?
Then I came out to clean up the rags because no one else would. I put them into the whirling's trash, along with a broken mug, admittedly.
Il semble se raviser.
Okay. I was coming to throw the mug away, and, well, I threw the mug there, and the...
Right. It was just civic duty.
Mhm.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was.
Bien sûr.
Civic duty.
C'est pour ça que le parrain de la pègre, il a un problème avec vous, quoi.
As he shifts uncomfortably, a series of clicks, like the clinking of glass beads, against one another as they roll across a hardwood floor. You've heard this sound before, but where?
Ah, vous savez quelque chose à propos de l'armure de la victime?
Armor? No. I mean, yes. Of course. I know he was wearing armor.
Vous avez pas du tout ramassé un morceau?
Anything
Non.
about it.
Non.
An infant could see he's not telling the truth, but he's too scared to admit. There's something going on here. You should observe him more closely after this topic is concluded.
Qu'est-ce que ce bruit étrange?
What sound?
Prenez pas pour une bille, vous savez parfaitement de quoi je parle.
I haven't the slightest. There's lots of weird stuff out here in the reeds, though.
The sound you heard was not the sound of something easily abandoned.
I hope I could help your investigation.
Does this mean you were in his apartment, admiring his colonial mug collection? Perhaps it would be interesting to tell him.
Tu serais donc rendu dans son appartement et tu aurais vu sa collection de tasses coloniales. Il pourrait être intéressant de l'en informer.
I told you everything I know, sir. I'm truly sorry for the mug.
He's not feeling too comfortable in his... Uncomfortable shifting around doesn't make him the killer, though. It's something else.
Sure do.
His eyes narrow slightly. He's wondering where this is going.
Est-ce que vous avez retrouvé votre porte ouverte dernièrement? Bah non, il n'est pas rentré chez lui depuis je sais pas combien de jours. Êtes-vous un grand admirateur de l'homme de Yelmeld?
How?
Monsieur Edgard a jugé nécessaire de dévorer votre appartement. J'ai vu le poster dans votre appartement, moi aussi je suis fan de
But why were you in my apartment, officer?
Monsieur Edward Claire m'a demandé de dévorer votre porte, j'en ai profité pour visiter les lieux. J'ai rendu un petit service à Monsieur Claire, c'est tout.
So you work for Everard Clare? Officer, please tell him we're good. No, tell him I'll make it up to him. What have I done? He'll send the muscle after me.
L'homme regarde autour de lui en baissant la voix et s'assure que personne n'écoute votre conversation.
As he lowers his tone, he hunches his back.
Je sais ce qui manigance, mais il ne vous aime pas. Essayez de pas vous chier dessus, Gary. C'est rien qu'une porte ouverte.
What could it be about? I probably talked too loud. In the whirling. About some theories I had. Whatever it is, I won't do it again. If there's anything I can do to assist you, or the Union, just ask, okay?
This scared him proper. He's positively melting from fear. Has to prop himself up with a lot of anger to keep it together.
The weather vane has turned. He cannot be unturned.
He clearly liked his squirming. He may even have changed his mind about the whole door opening operation. That shirt looks very uncomfortable on him. Look at the buttons, barely keeping that thing together, as if something is ready to rip out from underneath.
Attendez, j'ai reçu un mail. Il est incroyablement balèze. Quelque chose qu'il porte en dessous.
Yes, like a piece of ceramic armor, for example. One that makes a clicking sound when the plates meet each other, resembling pearls or marbles. Stolen from the corpse in the yard near where...
Je constate que vous êtes un amateur d'équipements militaires sophistiqués.
I knew you'd figure it out, officer. I'm sorry I didn't tell you at once. I was
Il a besoin de sa chemise. Ouh.
I was ashamed of what I did. And I didn't want you to know.
Découvrir une pièce de céramique blanche scintillant dessus. Une fine couche de plaques imbriquées les unes aux autres recouvre son torse. Oh, on a trouvé le plastron.
We're not detecting falsehood, sire. He's gearing up to admit the truth. This shame is surprisingly sincere.
Gary, what's going?
Later, Morale. I've got apologizing to do.
No, you've got explaining to do.
Oh, ton cerveau est froid comme la glace. Ah, Kim, il va pas te rater, mon pote. Hein. Si vous me disiez la vérité pour la vraie Emile, les habits dans la benne.
Everyone was picking those pieces off him, and I was watching them do it. And they scattered his clothes all over the yard. Everything was... So I went there to take out the trash and started cleaning up. All those rags on the ground, him swinging up there, and I had a lapse of honor, sir. I thought, he's a foreigner. They all say he wasn't from here. Only the cuirass was left. So I stripped it off him. It was early in the morning. No one saw me. I took it with me. It was a mistake.
We're detecting sincere contrition here, sire. He's not trying to flatter any...
It's okay. It was a loose end, and you are tying it up now.
I'm so fucking sorry I called you Yellow Man.
Ouais, ouais.
SEALite officers commanded the suzerain's navy. Most of them sided with the king when...
They were thoroughly conservative men, he realizes suddenly.
Donnez-moi cette arme-là.
He sighs again, hangs his head, and unbuttons his shirt fully. A cuirass that matches the dead man's boots comes into view. Soon, but so light to hold. Like
Est-ce que vous m'avez menti, Gary?
Because I was weak. I should have told you the moment I saw you. But
The hell, Gary? You in trouble?
I'll explain later.
As-tu le pendu?
I always thought it was the Union, but I sure as hell won't go around saying that anymore. You have my word.
this is all he knows.
Voilà pourquoi le parrain de la pègre nous a demandé de nous faire peur. Parce qu'il a ouvert un peu trop sa gueule en disant que c'était l'Union qui l'avait fait.
Yes, absolutely. I will never do anything like this again. I won't mess with Mr. Clare either. You have my word.
Merci pour votre coopération. Et bim. Et bim. Cuirasse Charzouette T500. Cette cuirasse maillée est vertueuse et bien ajustée et redistribue l'énergie cinématique à travers ses innombrables plaques blanches. Elle tient même sous votre manteau. Quelle chance! Et pour rien gâcher, elle fait un joli bruit de porcelaine lorsqu'on l'agite. Plus 1 en douleur transcendée, cuir endurci. Plus 1 à la volonté, mais moins 1 en l'empathie. Je vais te dire, mon empathie, elle est déjà tellement, elle a tellement chuté à... Ah non. À combien mon empathie? À 3? Et ma volonté, elle est à 2. Ouais, on va garder ma volonté un peu plus pour le moment, je pense. Mon art dramatique, il est déjà bien élevé, je crois, non? 5? Ouais. C'est moyen, mais ça va. Pas de bateau dans la bateau aujourd'hui. Ah, ça doit être là. Un peu de magnésium. Lunettes XXL de superstar. plus 1 en mise en point, mais moins 1 en projection analytique. Vous êtes ébloui par votre beauté resplendissante. Vous avez du mal à soutenir le regard excessif de l'étalon que vous voyez dans la glace. Dans ce cas, ces lunettes XL classiques sont faites pour vous. Mais je perds 1 en projection analytique. Alors, il faut voir le premier piège du coup.
There's a trap in the reeds at your feet. Looks like the same one you saw Morel set
Regardez aux alentours.
behind you. The ruins of a residential building rise over the reeds, shielding them from the wind. The reeds rustle confidently.
Prendre le piège.
Locusts are crawling around in the trap, confused but uneaten. You see
Big surprise. Anyway, 1 down. 3 to go.
Non, je sais que c'est dans le premier. Bien sûr, je m'attendais que ce soit dans le premier, bien sûr. Pas besoin de sourire, je m'attendais pas à trouver quoi que ce soit. J'ai quelques citoyens et je prends l'air.
I meant no offense. Just...
Oh, je l'ai un peu... Le hangar à bateau est construit à la hâte. Il pourrait s'écrouler comme un château de cartes à la moindre brise puissante. Toujours un peu d'argent. Putain, mais il y a encore tout un truc ici, là. La voiture a le vent de ce bon recouvert de rouille s'écaille. On est là, non? Ben, on dit entrée interdite. Bah, nous on est rentré. Attends, on peut le regarder l'art. C'était criblé de balles.
scattering of bullet holes is spread across the cracked wall, reaching from one corner to the other.
La projection analytique, attends.
A scattering of bullet holes is spread across a row of ghostly shades stand facing the wall. There are many of them, a dozen at least, their heads lowered and eyes blindfolded. It's quiet, no sound, no movement.
C'est un peloton d'exécution.
10 meters away, other shades are lined up in an orderly manner, automatic rifles primed. A gust of wind blows by. The coats of the firing squad flap slowly. The sun blazes high up in the sky, baking the planks, the sand, your skin. The order was carried out in the afternoon. A long time has passed since the moment of this fusillading. Rain and brine have since washed all the blood away.
Qu'est-ce que c'est
Not
que
a
ça?
trace remains. The abundance of bullet holes leads to 2 options. Either an inordinate amount of executions were performed here, or they did not use a conscience round, where only one soldier has the loaded rifle. Looks like this was a mass execution with everyone fully armed.
Ah oui, c'est le fameux truc des pelotons d'exécution où on donnait un fusil à balle à blanc, mais sans dire qui les avait. Comme ça, chaque soldat pouvait se dire qu'il n'a tué personne et qu'il lui n'a tiré qu'à blanc. Et du coup, si chaque soldat se dit ça, à ce moment-là, ils peuvent tous se sentir, entre guillemets, personnellement et inconsciemment innocents. Après, bon, voilà. Après, faut tirer, à ce moment-là, faut tirer un peu au jugé sans vraiment viser un endroit. Parce que si tu vises la tête d'un mec et tu vois que la tête du mec explose, tu comprends assez facilement que c'est pas toi qui avais l'arme à blanc, quoi. Examiner les victimes face au mur.
A host of men, probably in everyday clothes, ragged from the conflict and covered in dust. They were not sitting, a common practice for executions in some nations, as demonstrated by the height level of the bullet holes. They stand, facing the wall. It's impossible to discern any details about their personality or background.
Examiner les soldats.
7 men in combat uniforms and dark coats, holding automatic rifles aimed at the people. Soldiers from some side.
Observez l'individu sur le côté. Le commandant.
Commandant, the one who gives the order. Machine gun fire crackling through the air. The lights of the muzzle flashes
Qui
bouncing on his face.
a été exécuté. Ah, c'est pendant la Révolution, là. C'est les royalistes, logiquement, non?
I don't know. I don't know who died here, lined up beside that horrible wall. It could have been any of the parties involved in the revolution. Perhaps the ones executed here were the loyalist conservatives, killed by the communists at the start of the Civil War. Or it could have been the communists, put to death during the last stretch of the conflict by the coalition forces.
D'après leurs vêtements, ce serait plus des communistes, mais...
It could even have been the employees of the failed R&D center down the coast, as their building was taken over by the revolutionaries.
Or maybe.
Des gens de la coalition, peut-être.
Yeah, it's very unlikely the coalition forces were the ones who died here. They were always the last ones against the wall. To be honest, if a coalition member was anyone in this situation, it was a commandant, the superior giving the orders.
A cold sea wind blows.
J'ai changé quelque chose d'autre, non? Ouais, c'est ma veste que j'ai changée. Logique, j'ai 6. Là, en esprit de corps, je monte à 2. Et en frisson aussi, je monte un petit peu. Ça me donne toujours un peu de stats là, à des endroits où j'en ai pas beaucoup. Je pense que c'est toujours un peu mieux.
A row of ghostly shades facing a crumbling wall.
Ouais, donc
With
du coup,
another 7 shades, a cold sea wind.
hop, prends les pièces. Pipo Pipo FALN. Plus 2 en logique. Et je perds en perception. Le support en fil de fer à l'intérieur de ce pipeau futuriste lui confère le profil aérodynamique d'un casque de saut à ski. Mais aucune de ses qualités protectrices. Couvre les oreilles et les sourcils du porteur pour réduire le coefficient de traînée. Ouais, c'est pour le chapeau. Ouais, c'est un chapeau, quoi. Il y a une 2 en logique. Ah ouais, d'accord. Carrément. Non, je perds 1 en perception. La perception, c'est plutôt bien. Et fermer le bâtiment, je suppose. Non seulement cette part est barricadée, mais en plus elle est inaccessible. On a fait le tour ici. La partie de la côte est restée vierge pendant des décennies. Voilà, il y a des gens apparemment. Une petite chandelle noire au vol en cercle au-dessus de vous, vous l'entendez gazouiller. Ah oui, je l'entends gazouiller.
A drop in temperature, an easy flow there. An empty street before you, a thoroughfare unjammed with lorries. No more drivers smoking on hitch steps. Just silence.
Quelle était l'odeur de la fumée?
Chemically sweetened. Across the road, a forgotten bus stop. Corrosion has opened a hole in its roof. An elm tree watches over the building. Its branches are dripping with red. The road is smooth and motley, craters filled with a black asphalt. The asphalt, first laid, is grey already. A row of tenements are under construction. In the
Ce sont les gens qui vivent de l'autre côté de la rue.
a tub warm with water, white with soap. A man bathes while radio waves transmit the lottery numbers. 4, 18, 21, 4, 1. A modern washing machine rattles a drawer full of silverware.
Et l'arrêt de bus.
Number 312D. Young girls used to come here, huddled up, hoping for more warmth than their thin coats give them. The bus took them to school. It has not run for 8 years. There were not enough girls to sustain its cost.
Et la route.
Craters pocked the surface. Children played in them until heavy trucks full of black pitch rolled in. The landowners have filled the craters with money. It is a vital artery of the flow of trade. There's one bump on the road. A dead dog lies flat about 200 paces away, right at the top.
Un chien mort, non.
Tragedy comes from the wheels of a fast RCM vehicle, hurrying to work. The cold washes over you. The sound of the sea has grown distant. The wind moves the aerosol. A detective stands behind the boom barrier. A breeze moves a curl of his hair.
Tiens, frisson, frisson, c'est ce truc qui permet de sentir la ville, c'est ça? Ah, je suis qu'un avec la ville, c'est ça. Un Neulon 25, un modèle populaire. Les barreaux couvrent les salons, fenêtres pour cirrhose.
Someone has left an unidentifiable article of clothing on this railing. It smells really bad.
Regardez, je peux pas.
It's streaked with dried seagull shit and tangled with pieces of seaweed. A dangling arm suggests that there might be a jacket beneath the crust of filth. It seems likely that it was left in the surf until someone laid it out on this fence to dry out.
Please tell me you're not taking that with you.
Je crois que c'est la veste que Malampide voulait que je retrouve.
I'm sure he'll be thrilled to have it returned.
Veste crasseuse. Cette guenille répugnante a dû subir les assauts répétés des éléments pendant un bout de temps. Elle est constellée de fientes de mouettes, et si elle doit se rigidité inhabituelle à quelques réactions naturelles, allez savoir laquelle. En tout cas, impossible de reconnaître la marque.
As you
Interagir.
hold it in your hands, it makes an uncomfortable crunching sound.
Puis de manière aussi crade.
It's a sordid, filthy tale, not for the weak. Are you sure you can stomach it?
Oui,
Some secrets are better left uncovered. Don't even try. Seriously.
si je veux.
It occurs to you that you're not even holding the jacket itself, but rather the thick crust of jetsam and seagull shit. It smells like a dead sea creature, tangled in grey strands of seaweed. It must have spent quite some time in the water before the tide deposited it ashore. Somehow, it was carried or dragged to the boardwalk. If not by human hands, then perhaps the feral dogs that prowl the beaches at night. Why? Why did you think about it? Look at your hands. They're covered in muck.
Si c'est mes mains sur mon pantalon.
Now you're just flicking that shit everywhere.
Oh,
This
j'ai
is
deux
so
mentalités
sad.
maintenant.
You'll
Oh.
never get the smell out.
Pourquoi j'ai gagné 2 en... Ça n'a rien à voir avec cette... Ah, c'est l'armure. Ah, c'est donc du coup, c'est... C'est la volonté qui augmente ma morale. Dégâts. Comment ça, dégâts, moins un. Des vieux bien. Des vagabonds ont récemment peint la bâche en rouge de la goutte. Lunette méga top thérapeutique. Putain, plus 2 dans une encyclopédie, par contre, moins 1 en perception. Propose une monture rectangulaire en plastique beige. Il fallait oser. Le beige ne va à personne. Et à force d'observer le monde à travers ses lunettes XXL, vous risquez d'avoir la nausée. Une balance payante. Payante. Elle n'a pas été utilisée pendant une décennie. Et une grosse fortune des vagabonds ont essayé de rendre la promenade habitable. Un gros fût à vin est ouvert et vide. À vin. Ah, bonjour.
The smell. It's awful and familiar.
Qu'est-ce qu'il y a ici?
Don't you recognize it? That hideous pungency, that faintly cloying sweetness. Only death smells like that. Something cold wakes in the... It is death. It must be.
Attention, le temps quelque chose
The
cloche.
lieutenant has already...
De toute façon, ces planches ont l'air pourries et peu résistantes.
There's some tear, an empty cigarette package, and a crumpled kebab wrapper in the trash bin.
Examinez les poubelles.
2 empty bottles of Tallulah vodka and a can of black potent porter. Is all No, there's more in there. Livis strawberry liquor, plus some Pilsner bottles too. Better not.
A tragedy.
Examinez le paquet de cigarettes.
Whoever tossed it here was a heavy smoker.
Red
The
Astra.
brand name reads Red Astra. Red Astra is the black market version of Astra cigarettes, known for their high tar.
Examinez le papier de
You
kebab.
see traces of mayonnaise and ketchup on it, as well as a tomato wedge.
Shish kebab.
Wrapper reads,
Le shish kebab Revachol.
It's hard to concentrate in the smell. The sea air brings some relief.
Qui êtes-vous, monsieur? Arrête de faire ma musique. Je t'ai dit, ma pièce est accrochez-vous à quelque chose, le vent souffle fort.
A man lies on the boardwalk.
Ah, cadavre d'ouvrier.
His limbs bent and neck turned at an unnatural angle. Right next to him is an empty bottle of spirits. In his cramped hand, a chewing gum wrapper. Half of his body has slipped between the cracked boardwalk, starting with the right leg. The fall has left him broken, contorted like a sad. The smell is not as bad as a 2-week-old corpse, but it's definitely heading there.
Hold on.
Maintenant, s'accroupit du cadavre et examine son visage. 2 yeux exorbités lui rendent son regard. Elles sont vides de toute trace de vie.
Humidity is faintly pronounced. Whoever this is has been dead for 2 days. No longer.
C'est vrai, les
Let's
frissons.
investigate.
Encore un cadavre. Putain. Kim. On va pas rentrer au poste de sitôt.
Calm now. Carefully. Just another day. Just another dead body.
Examine les vêtements de l'homme.
He's wearing mud-caked boots, beige trousers, and an old brown leather jacket with a bright blue lining. There are traces of kebab sauce on his chest.
Ok, donc le kebab à côté, c'est à lui.
The leather jacket suits him well. It must be custom made.
Fouille les poches.
You find some sunflower seeds and a rain-soaked library card folded into 2.
Good. We should take a look at that library card after this is done.
Après, examinons
The
l'homme.
man has fallen through a crack in the boardwalk and hit his head against the metal bench. Coagulated blood covers his black hair. One of his feet is still dangling through the hole.
Ça serait donc un accident. D'après les premières Observation.
A bad fall. It might have been dark outside. This place is a minefield in the dark. When damp, these boards are really slippery. Even a sober man could lose their balance.
Examinez son visage.
His expression is dull, like the sea behind him. Drops of water shining on his moustache. His eyes, empty and wide, look frightening in their frozen gate. Height, 170 to 175 centimeters. Curly hair, stout build. Age, approximately 50 to 60 years.
Examinez les contours.
There's some dried blood on the metal bench, right where the corpse's head rests. The floorboards are rotten and slippery wet around the hole. An empty bottle lies nearby. But should be very, very careful where you step here.
Marchez sur les planches, pardon. Examinez la tête de l'homme.
A dried chunk of blood covers the hair at the back of his head. An open wound. It's sticky and this is what killed him.
I don't see any other major wounds, do you?
C'est non difficile à dire.
Seems like the head wound was fatal. It's exactly the shape of the bench.
Examinez la bouteille.
0.75 liter Tallulah vodka with its cap missing. There's hardly anything left inside.
Ouais, et il y en a deux autres déjà dans la poubelle.
Tear all around us. I'd prefer if you didn't collect them this time. It's not proper.
Examinez le papier de chewing gum.
Grabowski spearmint chewing gum. Green leaves on the cover. The man's mouth is half agape from the terror of the fall.
Regardez à l'intérieur.
The blackness of death. Stench. You think you see white chewing gum too. Confirmed. Nearly the whole pack is there. Solidified on his lower rib.
He ate the whole pack, right? It's to cover the smell of alcohol before going home. The worst thing is, I've seen it before. Almost the same scenario. Even the chewing gum. It's always the same.
The entire boardwalk creaks in the wind as you take a step back.
Qui est cet homme?
Looks like one of the locals. He'd have to know this spot to come here. You don't, just... But that's just a lazy assumption. What do you think?
Bah... catalogué comme alcoolique un peu prématuré, ouais, tous les signes pour quoi.
And he was married. But let's try to not run ahead. For now, all we know is that he's an unidentified middle-aged man found dead on the Martinez boardwalk.
Il se passait quoi à votre avis?
Death by misadventure. He slipped and fell through the boardwalk. A truly unfortunate accident. If it wouldn't have been for that bench, he'd be alive.
Je croyais qu'il était sous, montrez la bouteille.
Oh yes.
Il a fait une intoxication alcoolique et une insuffisance
Some
hépatique.
symptoms of acute alcohol poisoning could have definitely played a role here. Severe confusion, respiratory depression. But I think that death arrived through head trauma, not liver failure.
Et kebab, bah il avait faim.
What about it? The deceased ate some kebab. It's probably from a new...
Sometimes a kebab is just a kebab.
Quelqu'un devrait tenir sur ça du mauvais état de ses promenades. Je crois que c'est tout Révachol qui est comme ça, mec. Donc,
It does seem to be a pretty straightforward misadventure. Although there's still... From where I stand, I can see two options. We either take the case and follow the leads to identify the body on our own, or we report back to the station. And
ça, on fait pas une autopsie sur
A
site?
field autopsy isn't necessary if the cause of death doesn't appear to be criminal. And this looks like a simple accident. I'd say we should just write down head trauma in the autopsy report and leave it at that. It would save us at least 2 hours of unnecessary work.
c'est pas un peu trop simple. Non, des fois, ça peut juste être... genre, tous les signes sont là. Au bout d'un moment, tous les signes sont là, quoi.
Good call. The guys at processing can take care of the rest.
Là, trop, on devrait s'en charger.
Alright, we should first examine the library card you found. Then we can call the station for my kinema.
Tous les points d'XP sont bons à prendre. Je sais pas du tout s'il y a une date limite dans le jeu. Genre, faut essayer de réussir à le jeu avant dimanche ou... Je sais pas du tout. Trouver cette carte dans la poche.
The
Voilà.
library card is folded into two and still slightly wet to the touch. The front side reads
Billy Méjean.
Central Jamrock Public Library card issued to Billy Méjean. Billy is a unisex name. Could be the deceased or his family member.
Regardez au verso.
If lost, please return the card to the library. Dial 005 02 55 211 or visit us at Moreau Street, 78, Jamrock. Business.
Good. We should give them a call from my kinema. See if we can learn in.
Good idea. Whoever owns this card is an avid reader. You find a list of books written in blue pencil. Radio thriller. Stand a little less between me and the sun. The last one in the list is The Glinton Curve by M. Theobald. A library stamp indicates that the book has been returned. Most of these titles seem to be in the sci-fi genre. Some thriller.
Bon bah voilà, on trouve un cadavre. Qui a dû aller de toutes ses forces pour démolir la dôme en plastique.
A metal payphone under a yellow plastic dome. You could use it to call someone. You hear the tone. The machine is inoperable.
Ah ouais, 10 centimes, on a pas un numéro pif. Yes.
Calling. Still calling. This feels wrong. Should end of tone.
La voix est celle d'une femme qui semble avoir une centaine d'années. Oui, c'est moi, Pierre. Je fais un putain de prank. Non, ce n'est pas Pierre. Oui, Pierre est mort. Le mec, il veut faire un arrêt cardiaque à une femme au téléphone. Qui est Pierre? La femme gémit et les lignes téléphoniques. Ah la nuisant avec elle. C'est pas des marcheurs, j'appelais juste un numéro au hasard. Oui, je suis des marcheurs. Qu'est-ce qu'a fait votre pays exactement? Qu'est-ce qu'on a fait à votre pays exactement? Je sais pas qui je suis, mais qui êtes-vous? Quoi?
Pause. There is silence on the other end. Phone hanging. Disconnect tone.
D'accord. Attends, je peux la rappeler? Avoir un petit débat communiste avec une aristo? Ah non, c'est Girard, c'est tout.
Hello, Girard. Technically speaking, you're electricity. No, what you are is a surprise. Get his wife on the phone.
Quoi? Eh Girard, je suis ta femme, tu veux bien? Est-ce qu'Électricité est là? Je voudrais parler à Électricité, s'il vous plaît. Girard, un vrai nom de connard. Change de nom. Eh Girard, va chercher ta femme, tu veux bien? Je ne comprends pas. Pas grave, passe-la moi, j'aime pas attendre. Ça arrive, passe-la moi, j'aime pas attendre. C'est Pierre. Passe-la moi maintenant, j'aime pas attendre. Je suis le mec qui baisse ta femme, Girard. Maintenant, passe-la moi avant que je perde patience. Je m'appelle Mazov, Kraz Mazov. Je suis le mec qui baisse ta femme, Girard.
The sounds are muffled. You can make out two people, a man and a woman called Bien. That amid the howling in the wire, you make out a woman's voice with a thick Samaran accent. Girard, Girard, this is a joke. Someone is making a joke. More shouting. You're pretty sure you hear a man saying fuck several times. Then The crackle in the phone line gets violently louder, like the surf breaking.
Tu peux m'arrêter, j'ai continué à baiser ta femme, Gérard.
What the hell are you doing? You're right, you shouldn't have. Let's just go. I've had enough of this phone booth.
Oh. C'est vrai, j'ai perdu le... J'ai trop perdu en morale. Tu sais, je sais même pas essayer d'ouvrir ce truc là.
An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot. The wind has blown a sand dune in front of it. The door hasn't been opened in a long while.
It's military. A service depot of some sort. The washerwoman mentioned a depot up the coast. She said it was for moving ammo and cargo across the bay. This might be it.
Unité mécanique impossible. Et ça lance, c'est rouge. Je peux même pas être tenté, donc peut-être plus tard.
A familiar apparatus like the reeds shake sadly in the coastal breeze. The wind picks up here, near the Cape's end, surrounding the narrow strip of land from 3 cardinal directions. This trap is also full of panicked.
Another empty trap.
Le quart d'heure, ça vous plaît, lieutenant? Moi, j'adore ça. Tu tiens à préciser que je ne crois pas en l'existence du face-fidé, d'accord?
Always up for a good job. Otherwise, would I still be on this case with you?
C'est vrai qu'on combatte pas mal. Hop, remontons. Ouais, pour rentrer à l'intérieur, il y a des escaliers, ce que je vois. Bonjour. Une beauté d'alimentation qui n'en plus rien, il est vide. Impossible de passer par là.
You see a once bright mural towering above you. The signage has peeled off over the years, but you can still make out Feld Electrical R&D, a slogan used to intertwine with the loops a long time ago. Now, only a shadow of peeled letters remains. It says, "Tomorrow is just a whisper away."
Looks like tomorrow never came.
Bonjour, monsieur, dame.
And Mikhail noticed the windows.
30 élèves
Especially
stables.
with how there are no windows on the south side. This was to deal with.
Un homme blond se tient à côté de son fils montrant les ruines usées par le temps. Il vous voit approcher et sourit.
You officers, come to investigate the historic subtext of West Martinez? I'm Khan Hailostam. You must be Kim Kisuragi, right? I was just telling my son about this building. Not a lot of people realize the historic significance here. Very rich in hypertext.
Attends, quoi? Mais il connaît Kim?
Nice to meet you.
T'es en hypertexte, qu'avez-vous dit à propos des fenêtres déjà? Vous connaissez Kim?
Yes, hypertext. Young Carp and the collection of cultural hyperlinks.
Ok.
Oh yes, so Mikhail. They had to deal with monitor glare, especially in the summer. They still had vector monitors back then. That was 49 years ago. So they didn't have windows on the south wall. No, I can't say that we've met before, but I've heard of Kim, of course. Mikhail, say hi to the officers.
Pose la main sur l'épaule de son fils, l'enfant reste caché derrière le lait du bonteau de son père, s'accrochant à son livre de coloriage sur les worms. Mais t'es qui?
Mikhail's a little tired today. We spent all night trying to run Orbis on his radio computer. Have you heard of it? It's a programming language used in Grad. Quite tricky, but he wanted to play this Grad-made adventure program. We've been getting really into worms lately.
The man speaks in the artificial cadence of a professor, or someone who's been on too many radio shows.
But I assume you're not here for giant worms when there are so many real things to see. Just as I was telling Mikhail before, this is where the Coalition landed in 08. We could be standing on what is the most interesting landmark in Revachol West.
Pensez-nous le bâtiment du doigt.
Wow, get a load of this guy. He really enjoys his trivia. The Orbis programming language was named after its inventor, Victor Orbis, a cybernetician from Grad. They run Vox in the Occidental countries.
Vous avez l'air riche, c'est le cas. On peut parler de la réalité.
Aha! But it's not just any empty old building.
Vous êtes tous les quatre en train d'admirer la fraise de Rome.
What not a lot of people know is this used to be the R&D department of Felt Electrical. And Felt, which now sells ink cartridges mostly, was once a top dog in the turn of the century cybernetics boom.
Regardez le bâtiment qui vous surplombe.
It looks old and weathered, with seagulls picking apart its stone and metal carcass. Bushy undergrowth has taken hold of the collapsed rooftop. Some kind of bird has set up a nest on a broken windowsill.
Je n'avais jamais entendu parler de Feld avant.
That's not surprising. Only a vestigial ink cartridge and ferrotape manufacturer remains.
J'ai
It
juste sa
started
veste.
out as a midway electronics outfit in Königstein 2 centuries ago. After an aggressive move to Revachol, Feld became a global player in the emerging personal electronics market of the pre-revolutionary era. Still, Tricentennial was beating them in business machines. But Feld had an ace up their sleeve, or should I say they were developing an ace up their sleeve? I'm mixing my metaphors here.
Quel était cet atout?
It was here in Martinez, possibly in this very building, that they developed prototypes for a tape computer.
Ordinateur à bande.
An elegant folding mechanism of rollers and ferrotape ribbons, portable enough to be a take-it-home solution. Revolutionizing business machines, possibly even bring them to the average consumer.
Ils ont inventé les ordinateurs portables, quoi. Bah, des ordinateurs, quoi. C'est genre, nous, à notre époque, les ordinateurs, ça existait bien avant que t'en aies chez toi, quoi. C'est juste que c'était utilisé pour les militaires et ça faisait 3 tonnes, quoi. Ça pesait 3 tonnes.
Which is a feat of engineering even today's giants, Rehm, ICN and ZAM, haven't achieved yet.
Il sourit, admirant la phrase qu'il vient de prononcer.
He assumes something like a combat stance, facing the wind.
Qu'est-ce que tu veux laisser?
Indeed. What?
The revolution!
Le garçon s'essuie le nez sur sa manche.
Unfortunately, their moonshot project never made it to the market. Feld's move to Revachol backfired. The revolutionary government liquefied their assets and expropriated those very advanced prototypes, possibly from this very building, or one of the adjacent ruins.
Il marque une pause, montre le bâtiment et poursuit.
All of this was built by Feld, even the boardwalk. Wild Pines built Martinez proper as a resort for their middle management. Feld built this side of town for R&D.
Vous dites que Feld a construit cette promenade?
Yes, they even built a pleasure wheel, but that got destroyed in the war.
Ah oui, on la voit sur la carte.
A pleasure wheel?
Et on regarde l'horizon avec nostalgie comme si vous voyez des nacelles s'élever vers le ciel.
Yes, to lure in their star engineers. This part of Martinez was nothing but reeds before Feld arrived. They had to make the prospect of living here attractive. It was supposed to become a global center for innovation in cybernetics. But history...
Qu'est-il arrivé aux ingénieurs et aux gens de l'entreprise?
Oh, I'm afraid it didn't end well for the boys. But this story is a bit too dark for little Mikhail here. Now, if you were to ask about tape computers...
He means that the boys got shot by the communists. The boys were bourgeois.
Oh. Se tourner vers Michael. Alors, ton papa veut te dire qu'en fait, ils sont tous morts. On leur a tous tiré dessus parce que c'était des bourgeois. Mais est-ce que tu sais ce que c'est un bourgeois, Michael?
Tape computers.
Je Je suis pas un connard à ce point, hein. C'est bon. Qu'on fait révolutionnaire avec ses inventeurs aux technologies à
They
bande.
used them for military communications, but also to write and send out press releases. The most notorious example being le décret de Mars.
Le décret de Mars.
What's the Mars Decree? I mean the radio transmission sent out to news agencies and world governments by the newly created commune of Revachol on the 7th of March in the year 02.
A short-lived legislative foundation for a short-lived utopia.
It's a beautiful piece of text, actually. A singer-songwriter I know, Charette, called it a love poem to
Charette?
Revachol on her political concept album.
C'est le même que chez nous?
Dans ce Lind.
Bon baiser
You should
d'insu.
read it. Every local library in Revachol stocks a copy of the decree. I tried to get Mikhail to memorize it. Tried to. Someone was much too interested in worms to be paying any attention.
The kid takes a peek at the green and silver worm on the cover of the book, already forgetting about this part of the discussion.
Comment fonctionnent les ordinateurs à bande? Est-ce qu'ils fonctionnent comme des radios-ordinateurs?
Actually, no one knows. No one even knows what a computer made entirely of tape would look like. But word has it, they were very elegant. Exquisite, alien-looking turn-of-the-century hardware.
Buckle up.
10 years ago, I did a little
Bac à la poire.
freelancing, I guess you could say. I was a special consultant for an exhibition at the Wompty Dumpty Dum Center in Vredefort, Oranje. It raised the same questions, and we had lengthy discussions with Paul Ockerman, who was head curator at the time. This was before the twins Keith and Guy Jews joined the team, trying to...
Wait, did he just say Wumpty Dumpty Dom Center? He did it. He said Wumpty Dumpty Dom Center, like it's the most natural thing in the world.
Wumpty Dumpty Dom.
What the hell is a Wumpty Dumpty Dom Center? And who the hell are Keith and Guy Juiced?
Même l'encyclopédie ne sait pas. Le centre Wumpty Dumpty Dom. Paul Ockerman, Kess and Joes, je ne pige rien de tout ce que vous racontez.
The Wompty Dumpty Dum Center for Contemporary Art. The exhibition itself drew on Lagerman's notion of memory, and so there were some parallels. That's why the head curator, Paul Ockerman, chose to...
Il a inventé tout ça. Kim, il invente tout ça.
In fact, I'm not. The Wompty Dumpty Dum Center is a place you can visit if you're ever in Vredefort and are ever in the market for an exhibition space / contemporary art research center. But perhaps I should return to the tape computers. As I was saying, the device itself was very elegant, fragile even. One could write directly on the tape using a special chemical solution. The machine would then analyze the handwriting, perform operations and project out...
Mais dans quoi on s'est lancé, bordel?
It was a beautiful, delicate thing.
Made of black film and folding tape structures.
J'ai déjà vu des trucs plus. La messière devrait s'en préoccuper, ils sont préoccupés quelques-uns. Sympa.
Very, very cool. Though I understand the socio-economic causes of the revolution, it pains me to imagine the revolutionary setting fire to this precious device. But so they did. The felt playback experiment vanished into the fires of 07. Who knows? Maybe it was an accident, or maybe they didn't want the technology to end up in the wrong hands. Either way, they're all gone now. All 3 versions of the prototype. Nothing but debris and ashes remain inside that building.
Recule un peu, la passerie craque sinistre dans
But
la
of
voie.
course, what else?
Vous avez l'air riche, c'est le cas.
I do have some money, yes, but that's not what's really important here.
Que si rien n'était.
No, I mean, come on. You need the money. If it's not a thing.
Mec, je viens mendier, quoi. Je n'ai pas d'autre argent, je voulais juste savoir si maintenant le profileur était encore bon.
Oh no, I don't have it on me, officer. I was talking in more general terms. I'm just spending time with my kid here, showing him around the lesser-known parts of our hometown. It wouldn't be wise to carry huge...
Not that he would have to worry about being robbed. He looks surprisingly buff. Does he work out?
Il fait de la muscu.
I do some Lomantang stick fighting now and...
Lo Mantang stick fighting is a form of martial arts originating from the island of Lo Mantang. It uses slender wooden sticks for confronting the opponent.
Actually, a great many cultures have their own version of stick fighting, such as the sacred Mabolo tradition of the Harli people. A name deriving from the butterfruit tree traditionally used for crafting the long, slender sticks, whereas the stick...
You doze off as he paints
Petit du nez.
of the history of stick fighting among mankind. Man, he's good at speaking.
Ah
People
putain.
must live.
But anyway, I'm boring you with details again. You were saying?
Je me souviens plus de ce que je dis.
Then I guess everything got said, right? No, thanks to you for having me and little Mikhail here to pick your brain.
Pick your brain. If anything, this was rather one-sided. He did the talking. Whatever.
Pouf. Tout ça pour du lore.
The remaining windows rattle from a strong gust of wind. They're covered in a thick layer of grime. They must have been like this for 40 years.
Essayez de voir l'intérieur.
Dripping water falls from a high place. All you can see is the shadow of a collapsing
Maintenant,
stone.
vous arrivez à voir ce qu'il y a à l'intérieur.
No, I won't even try. You know,
Ouais, c'est lui.
I had a partner once. They called him Eyes, because he had to show me things. It's that bad.
Parce qu'il devait me montrer des choses. Vous pouvez encore tirer?
Well enough, actually. It's odd how that works. I'm no sharpshooter, but I passed my shooting courses.
Ah oui, centre Wompy. On est mercredi soir et il se trame quelque chose d'audacieusement excitant. Les gens sont réunis sous le toit d'un édifice monumental sirotant du vin tout en échangeant leurs vues. Guy et Kess, jumeaux prodigieux de 29 ans, sont les stars de la soirée avec leurs blousons d'aviateur et les baskets blanches. Ce sont les curateurs de l'exposition. C'est l'événement le plus domesque de l'année. Et tous les gamins branchés ont répondu présent. Où êtes-vous donc si vous n'y êtes pas? Moins 1 en suggestion pour le moment. Mais j'ai envie d'aller voir. C'est de la merde, on l'enlèvera. Attends, je vais me chercher un truc à grignoter. Pas en 2 minutes en plus, ça va vite être intériorisé quoi. Bon bah allons à l'église. Tentez l'ombre d'un bâtiment. L'ombre d'un énorme bâtiment vous tombez dessus. Sur le panneau il est écrit Sainte Brune 1147. Dans le blanc des bancs d'église dans l'obscurité, plusieurs semblent banquiers. Un hôtel enveloppé par les ténèbres, un truc dans le genre, il fait trop sombre pour distinguer quoi que ce soit.
Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand shut in front of you. The rectangular sea-worn ornamentation appears in stark contrast to the padlock.
Examinez la
Keys
charpente.
drilled into the wood. The carving on the door is block-like and angular, like the church itself. 2 large beams shoot downwards, sinking into the wood before they reach the threshold. The surface is smooth from the wind, but moist to the feels exceptional. 300 tons of pine would fit together seamlessly. It's old too, cut and carved many centuries ago. This cheap-looking padlock is sturdily built. It shackles together a hasp. It'll be easier to break the staple than the lock. Also, that sticker is interesting. You see a yellow circle with 2 X's and a big curve below them that looks like a mouth. You're pretty sure you haven't seen it before, but what the symbol depicts is clear enough. A smiling dead guy. The curve makes it smile, and the X's. There is something blindingly modern about this symbol. Its modernness puts to shame everything you've seen before. He takes off his glasses and uses a blue handkerchief to thoroughly wipe them clean before inspecting.
No. Looks like a dead man smiling. Suggests junior delinquency. I haven't seen that sticker before, and I'm not a youth.
C'est d'accord, il est très moderne. Est-ce que le type en jouet sait qu'il est mort? Ou est-ce que le mort se fiche pas mal de ne plus être en vie? Il m'a saisir la source de l'ironie.
That level of conceptual thinking is not part of my skill set.
Essayez d'arracher l'autocollant sans le déchirer.
There's nothing like the sound of a sticker unpeeling. Now it's stuck to your thumb.
Collez l'autocollant dans votre registre après la dernière entrée, c'est sa place après tout. Collez l'autocollant sur la couverture de votre registre.
Voila. Looks very modern.
Ah, donnez du style à votre paperasse, tâche secrète terminée, boum.
You're part of the future brigade now, and so is your formerly humdrum ledger. Neon, baby. The lock turns easily. You hear a click as the shackle pops open.
Let's go.
A great whoosh of air rushes into the dark innards of the church in the heart of the city.
Ouh. Un étrange calme vous ennuie lors que vous regardez devant vous. Vous devrez marcher ici et non vous précipiter. Ok, on va pas double-clic quoi. Un autre motif bizarre comme celui que vous avez vu dehors. Des coléoptères. Non, on dirait que c'est fait exprès. Un style oublié depuis de belle lurette. Cette figure grotesque en bois a l'air moitié terminée. À moitié terminée. Le tableau est rempli d'équations complexes et elles ont l'air récentes. Est-ce qu'il y a un lien avec la fréquence radio? La voile est remplie d'eau, un câble sous tension y est plongé. Est-ce que les câbles pourraient s'utiliser comme microphone de contact?
The silence in this part of the church, it's almost palpable. All the shifting matter and shuffling of living things is gone. Maybe if you were to stand in just the right spot, even your footsteps would be completely silent. And then it's gone. Almost all of it. But it seems the sound here is detached from its source somehow, if not blotted out outright. You can hardly hear your own breathing. Your voice is barely audible. Not a howl, but the softest of whimpers. You produce a few muffled thumps, after which the silence feels even more total, somehow.
Il y a une sorte de pentagramme fait de pièces et de fils. D'assiettes et de fils.
The lieutenant points to his ears and
Can you hear anything?
Je fais presque rien, ça commence sérieusement à m'inquiéter. Pas vraiment, mais c'est extraordinaire, j'ai rien vécu de tel.
I wonder why the church was built with such strange acoustics.
maybe the church was designed this way to prevent boisterous activity, singing and dancing on its premises.
Et c'était un phénomène paranormal. C'est vraiment juste notre magicien qui nous joue des tours. Quoi que ce soit, c'est bien réel. Un phénomène étrange se produit autour de nous.
The lieutenant doesn't reply, but you can sense him tense up next to you.
Regardez le clocher.
The orderly rows of ceiling panels become barely visible, then disappear completely in the darkness of the tower overhead.
Essayez de voir au-delà des ombres. Oh, échec. C'est pas un échec critique, hein. On se calme.
Just darkness without end. It makes your head spin.
Putain, les dés, j'ai vraiment fait 2 et 1, quoi. Alors que j'ai 6 de base. Comment sont les ténèbres?
Filled with vague shapes of woodwork, the sense of a great height. There's nothing. You're dizzy and disoriented.
Officer, what are you looking at?
Il y a des yeux. Qu'est-ce qui se passe?
You see something hanging from the rafters, looking straight at you.
Un crabe.
With maybe it's possible to talk to it.
Un portable de la marque Armamouti. Deux platines de même tournent dans le vide. Quelqu'un détourne de l'électricité depuis l'extérieur et alimente cette antenne.
A machine stands in the corner, watched over by the figures on the stained glass.
Très
It's turned on and quivering with soft electricity.
Another radio computer. And this time it's already turned on. We should leave. I doubt this place bears any connection to the case.
Mais cette machine est identique à celle de la zone commerciale maudite.
It's also quite similar to the one we have down at the station. Must be the same model.
The one you saw earlier was the Ream Civic. This is the Ream Prefect, a model number RC7024, equipped with a Fell mainframe and a Ream-compatible interim printer. The Ream Prefect is the governmental version of the commonly used Ream Civic model. Although mostly based on the same technology, the Ream Prefect is equipped with better noise attenuation, so you see fluorescent play and print buttons on the keyboard. The lieutenant says nothing. You see the machines glowing. Behind the hatch sits a cube-like crisscross of filaments, smoldering in the dark like fireflies. Silver tape on the side says, in black marker, log, February to March. This is the machine's filament memory. Press play to act. Nothing happens. The speaker comes to life. Static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. An old lady greets you.
Good afternoon.
C'est encore elle.
Accident on Saint-Brune. This is the East Insulin.
It's the same old woman you spoke with through the radio computer in the doomed...
Yvonne, c'est encore moi, vous allez bien?
Good, thank you. Please repeat. Is this the personal log? Good. Please repeat.
Let's look around. There's no use trying to guess the answer.
Received. Votre accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today? I have two machines registered to this company name in Martinez.
Saint-Brune. That's the church. And Rue de Saint-Guylaine?
Anything else I can help you with?
Non, c'est bon
The
pour moi.
machine's keyboard is still...
Des chaussures. Là. Il y a de l'argent déjà. Il y a des chaussures. Richelieu rouge et de banger mesque. Plus 1 en empathie. Ok. La languette de ces chaussures élégante en croco est décorée d'un motif en fleurs, ton sur ton, que l'on remarque à peine. Les pointes des deux chaussures sont poussiéreuses après leur séjour plongé dans l'église. Je pourrais avoir plus 1 en empathie si jamais. Mais je crois que j'ai déjà pas beaucoup en empathie, non? Si, j'ai 3. Tu une quête apparemment. Ah oui, qui a acheté les vêtements. L'araignée a tissé sa toile autour d'un pilier en bois. Tout ça pour ça, quoi, putain. L'entrée est colorée et craquelée. Le givre a couvert le verre d'auréole difficile de voir au travers. Une soilette de cerf est dessinée dans le givre recouvrant la fenêtre. Échappe un saut de bougueur mesque ou douleur transcendée. Ces grandes écharpes rouges trouvées dans l'église toutes poussiéreuses, brodées en ton sur ton, des coques à l'air satisfait, des motifs floraux presque embellis, l'ensemble en toute subtilité. Je regarde ma cour intérieure pour le moment. Hello?
Is that a man? Looks more like part of the carpentry of the building came alive. The Crab Man.
Crabman. Ici la police, montrez-vous.
The man leaned forward a little.
Habitual alcohol use has made you into a scared little pussy, Holmes. But don't worry, everything's gonna be alright.
That accent is Villalobos, a peninsula in Mesque and a district in general. There's a sizable contingent of Villalobos-speaking Mesques in Revachol.
Au bon endroit? Qu'est-ce que vous faites ici?
I'm here to receive the mother's love. You can too, Holmes. And when you ready, she will take your hand and lift you out of that despair at the bottom of that bottle.
Ah ouais.
This man is obviously a habitual narcotics user. Do we really need to question him?
Hey, and what was that about? The bottle again? You haven't even drank that much lately. Lay off it already.
Pas faux, mon rôle est difficile à gérer ces derniers temps, mais... Je suis policier, je suis là pour faire mon boulot, la conne ne m'intéresse pas.
Está crudo, way. I see deep inside you. Your body and your spirit are suffering greatly from overindulgence.
Parfait, encore une leçon de morale, c'est original. J'ai parfaitement conscience de ma souffrance, merci. Et vous savez ce que je ressens? En fait, j'ai déjà monté une boîte de nuit. Cache.
Not all of it. I was like you once. You don't know all the havoc El Vino is...
You know, actually, since we're here, you may want to pay attention to what the ceiling climber is saying.
Ce que vous dites n'est pas entièrement faux. Ça n'a aucun sens, je n'ai même pas de quoi vous parler. C'est bien beau tout ça, mais il faudrait aussi qu'on discute de l'occupation légale d'un bâtiment ecclésiastique. Ajustez votre crâne, Thomas. Non mais vous me prenez pour qui là?
Don't trust me. Trust the mother. I'm only the messenger, Holmes.
Il paraît que vous êtes alcoolique et que c'est une maladie et qu'elle était en train de vous tuer. Passez votre vie à ramper, traînant derrière vous votre ventre rendu tout flasque par le picole, le cerveau confus et disjoncté, les cheveux collés et dégoulinants de sueur et de votre gerbe de la veille. Peut-être ont-ils raison, tout est préférable à votre sort, y compris l'aride réalité. Peut-être pouvez-vous arrêter. 20 heures d'interrogation, putain.
This is the church of the Mother of Silence. You are welcome here.
You have no idea what the fuck he's talking about. Is he just trying to throw you? Whatever it is, he's quite confident about it. Just look how 'tis not an act, my liege. Save him perchance, he hath deceived his very self. This man is a zealot.
Vous avez trouvé l'autre flippadingue?
Other spooker? Oh, esa viejita es muy estudiosa.
The Aita is Grandma?
Ah, c'est la femme qui nous ont parlé.
No, I just call her viejita because of her clothes. She's actually quite young. Or maybe not that young. Age is just one.
Ouais, tu penses que c'est la gamine qu'on a vue? Et c'est de l'art qu'elle fait là, non? Je sais pas où elle se trouve.
That's what I said, Holmes. Don't really follow her comings and goings. Just see her typing on her computer now and then. We got different interests. I'm afraid not, essay. You just have to wait until...
Or search through her radio computer.
Non mais je connais pas son code. Vous devez être là.
I've never known myself to be a crab. But if that's the name you got for me, I won't stop you from using it.
Ouais, pour en plus c'est une araignée.
I always thought of myself more like a flame, flickering along the rafters and beams.
That's not the only technique he's working on. Look at those carved sculptures. And is that a satchel of tools over there?
On sait où qu'elle taille ces sculptures. Désolé, la colonne est plus proche.
Sure am. Whittling wood used to be something. Now I use those same hands in service of something greater than my own restlessness.
Putain, on nous a exécuté des courbes assez généreuses. Vous faites la promotion de la femme objet avec cette représentation réactionnaire du corps féminin.
It's all just for the mother, man. No need to overthink it. I was in a gang way, but my memories of that time are fading. Most of them are already gone.
Secoue la tête, il y a plein de gens qui perdent la mémoire, c'est le signe d'une catastrophe à venir. Moi aussi, je perdais la mémoire, mais c'est pas grave, c'est au contraire, c'est l'occasion de se créer une nouvelle identité en partant de zéro.
That's not really the point, I say. You gotta give yourself over to service.
Do you remember your name, sir?
Tiago's my name, but those syllables don't mean much to me these days. A name isn't just your identity. Your place amongst your fellows. Your place in the world. I ain't got no use for such a place anymore.
Je m'appelle Arrière Dubois et ma place dans ce monde est lieutenant double frayeur.
That's just the thing, Holmes. None of that matters.
Vous n'avez pas entendu le mot de passe de Verita par hasard?
Too many times, essay.
Surveys are a good way to fish for personal information, especially in the name of public safety.
Je réalise une étude sur les mots de passe afin d'identifier les tendances régionales dans une optique de protection du grand public, bien sûr. Oui, c'est pour résoudre une affaire de meurtre à Martinez.
The lieutenant raises his...
Don't sweat it, Vato. The password is afterlife death. What you think of that? Makes me almost pity la Nilita pequeña when I hear it.
Que vous faites ici?
This is a special place. There's a perforation in the world up there. A way out into nothingness. This church was built around it. For purposes, I circled it. Nurtured by the silence bestowed by the mother. One of these days, I'll be pure enough to go drink from it directly.
C'est vrai, quand vous bourrez directement de la brèche.
I will be incinerated, but not destroyed. Finally, I won with the state of the world before reality began.
That sounds a bit like substitution behavior, no? You know a thing or two about that.
C'est qui les merditions dont vous arrêtez pas de causer?
Oh, that's no simple question, Essay. She is one who can be painted. She is a cavity in the dark, beyond sense. She saved me, but I couldn't describe her to you. No one can, Holmes, and no one ever will.
Est-ce que ça revient pas à changer de drogue, tout
It's
simplement?
not like that at all, man. It's just faith and joyful service.
Too gleeful, those words. He is lying. Not to you, to his very own self.
La foi, c'est aussi une forme de drogue. Eh oui! Eh oui! La religion, c'est l'opium du peuple. Tu peux pas la sortir, cette phrase?
I heard that before, Way, and I know I can't convince you on the spot. But think, when's the last time you woke up from silent communion with a hangover, regretting what you did last night?
L'amour et la drogue que je préfère, je suis encore sous son emprise.
She took you for a good spin, huh? Don't worry, bro. That love is but the mother will eat all of you and never spit you out. I know it will take time. Don't sweat it.
Je comprends toujours pas ce que vous faites dans
I'm a
l'église.
seraph, Holmes. I sing the mother's glory.
Si vous me chantiez un truc, après tout, je suis un flic superstar. Pointez vos pouces vers vous. Et je suis un flic superstar. Qu'est-ce qui a 2 pouces et qui était un flic superstar? C'est pas très logique de chanter un air à la mer du silence. Si?
I ain't from no Marietti, if that's what you're thinking.
Marietti is a mesque style of music and dance, commonly seen at all manner of festivities, especially weddings. It's delightfully quaint. He lost his cool there for a moment. Seems you hit some nerve.
Comment vous êtes retrouvé ici?
Hard to say. I think I did some construction work here, back when I still had material worries. Up there? I've been spending a lot of time here ever since. The past is nothing to me now, Way. It didn't belong to me.
C'est à vous, lui montrer les charges, mais je suis sûr que vous avez trouvé.
I think they were. A long time ago. I had to shed them like skins to get closer to the center of the silence. You could have...
They look pretty dapper, actually. The sinewy figure.
Longtemps que vous êtes ici, depuis quand l'église est-elle déserte?
Police raid a while back.
Did you witness it?
Not really. Or at least I don't remember much of it anymore. The mother's love has done its job. That's what's so great about the mother.
Jonas Fettard veut transformer l'église en boîte de nuit.
The ones in the tent outside, right? I see them. Guessing they're the ones who call me a crab.
Est-ce qu'ils ont une bonne raison d'avoir peur?
Nah, man. They look pretty funny. And I don't harm no one anymore. Anyway.
Je suis sûr que vous n'avez pas d'intention de leur mettre des bâtons dans les roues, il faut soutenir la jeunesse qui se couche tard. Attention, une église en bois de nuit, c'est une super idée, vous devriez les soutenir. Du coup, est-ce que je peux vous penser de la boîte de nuit, je veux dire?
Why not? They wouldn't bother me none. I'm usually way up there, imbibing. Might even be nice to have some company.
Okay.
I think we're done here, Essay.
That was an interesting conversation. However, I'm still not sure how it's relevant to our investigation.
Oh là là, mais Kim, t'es un peu comme le chat là. Bien sûr que c'est important. Alors.
Humpty Dumpty Dum Center.
Humpty Dumpty Dum.
You're at home, stupid cop. Not with the art crowd. You hate them. Everyone hates them. Even they hate themselves. It's nauseating. An industry built on sprezzatura and sparkling wine. And, let's be honest, tax evasion schemes. The Humpty Dumpty Dum Center is the heart of this unholy symbiosis of aesthetics and tax optimization. And now that you've internalized it, you can have a piece too.
Putain, par contre, -2 en suggestion. L'encyclopédie passive octroie plus 10 points d'XP et d'or réel, alors c'est bien. Parce que j'ai souvent l'encyclopédie proc assez souvent. Mais -2 en suggestion. Ça fait mal, -2 en suggestion quand même. On va le garder un peu, je pense. Intériorisons celui-là. C'est celui qui me permet de comprendre, d'arrêter de me faire alcoolique.
The machine's keyboard is still illuminated, revealing fluorescent play and print. The speaker comes.
Good afternoon. Good. Please.
Après la vie, la mort.
Password. Good. I have unlocked the filament. After ending the call, please press trace accident. Is there an goodbye?
The machine's keyboard. The printer prints out a long text document with dated paragraphs. It looks a bit like someone's journal.
J'ai l'impression.
The first entry, made on the 4th of February, 51, by an arrived at the church. The door was boarded up, so I used the crowbar to get inside. Looks like the place has been deserted. Nothing out of the ordinary, but I'll ask around. Need to figure out how to... The lieutenant leans closer, scouring the printout.
4th of February. That's over a month ago. Whoever set up those machines has been here for quite a while.
Je sais que ce registre est lié à l'affaire. Non, toujours pas, non. Regarde, deuxième billet.
6th of February, 51. Had a little chat with the local fishermen. Said I shouldn't go near that place. That the church was spooky and ridden with narcotics. It's a little spooky, all right. Still haven't figured out the... See? Ridden with narcotics. Just 7th of February, 51. Finally got the electricity in. Next on the agenda, a new antenna. I'm thinking ESCA series, something advanced.
Pourquoi est-ce qu'il a besoin d'une antenne?
Why would anyone need any of this equipment here?
8th of February, 51. Bought the antenna. Had some problems setting it up. Called Simon for help. Heard the others are back to making art. Drinking somewhere out of town. Sulislav started a rock band again. Lexi has been seen asking money from strangers, but at least the artists have their act together. They're qualified labor. They can get work anywhere. Graphic design, ads. The programmers are doing fine too. I mean, they're programmers. The writers, though, they're fucked.
Ah bah ça.
I just have to find out what caused that data loss and be done with it. Still don't understand how it managed to wipe out the backup when the backup wasn't even connected to the front. I know. Everyone thinks it's impossible. They say I must be lying. I'm here to set it right.
La perte de données.
Seems like something to do with radio computers. Unfortunately, I don't know enough. Something about the backup data getting destroyed, and how everyone thought it was the author's fault. Let's just keep reading.
C'est les artistes et programmeurs cette
I
Lexi.
think these people worked in the radio computer games business. The one we saw in the Doom commercial area. They must be our former co-workers.
12th of February, 51. Brought some food from the grocery store. Apparently, there's a strike going on in the harbor. Definitely not happy to see the Martinez people again. Everything's now set up in the church.
The strike. We are nearing the date of the murder. Keep reading. I'm interested now. I want to know what's that radio anomaly that sent this person here.
25th of February, 51. I've been sending data up to Lintel for a while now, trying to recreate the data loss, but nothing. Didn't even feel like logging in, the disappointment. But I did discover a curious audio-spatial anomaly at the back of the church. I've named it the Swallow. It swallows sound. Need to get some mics.
Is she talking about?
Non, j'ai tendé à droite vers le silence.
28th of February, 51. Yes, the first recordings confirm that the swallow is real, and I'm not just losing my mind. It's a pillar of silence, with a diameter of approximately 3 meters. Seems like the higher I go, the less I record. This might be a coincidence, or it could be connected to the
pillar of silence. She is talking about the silence. Is she suggesting it's more than just an architect?
The lieutenant doesn't answer. He follows your gaze, studying the basins. The water shines in them. March 51. Some kind of young disco men have appeared next to the church. I've been trying to record the silence to find the epicenter, but now it turns out I've also been capturing the future of dance music. One neo-disco song over and over again.
Hein? Quoi? Allô?
Fortunately, the song is so monotonous, I was able to devise an algorithm to factor it out. The other day, one of the disco men came in. Before I could even say hello, she got scared and left. Good, I don't want anyone distracting me. That disco man must be a cell.
The girl on the ice? Sounds like her, yes.
March 51. I got a call from the repeater station. Someone has tried to access the radio computer in our old office in Martinez. Can't do anything about it. The storekeeper still doesn't want to let me inside the building. Thinks I'm part of some kind of curse. How Martinez of her.
I knew it wasn't a good idea to meddle with that machine.
No. It was a great idea. You're learning things. This is how you learn things about machines. March 51. A new 2-meter aux cable. Noodles. Crackers. Ping energy drinks. Water. Toothpaste. Gum. Also, some canned air. Your reading is interrupted by the sound of the church door opening. A strange woman makes straight for the radio computer.
Mais si on se fait choper la main dans le sac. Bonjour. Tu vois, étrange, je te rapproche du... Bonjour.
Breaking into my radio computer, I see.
Pendant plusieurs secondes, la machine redémarre.
Yes, you are breaking in, but not into her radio computer. You're a master circuit bender.
I do apologize for the intrusion, madame. We are with the RCN, you see.
Sachez que je suis un bidouilleur génie, je ne joue pas dans votre ordinateur, je m'en sers pour accéder aux liaisons de données militaires de la coalition. Nous nous occupons d'une affaire annexe pour le compte d'organisation de concerts. C'est une simple affaire... C'est pas une simple fou, vous savez, je suis une piste mystérieuse pour retrouver mon identité.
There are no coalition military data links. And even if there was, you couldn't access them over a civilian network.
En tant que dieu cybernétique, rien ne me résiste. Je me sers de votre réam perfect pour rejoindre le navire de guerre de la coalition Archer. Je vais retourner les canons du navire contre ses maîtres.
That's nonsense. You're just a police officer. Now please give me some room. I need 2 seconds to see that you haven't destroyed anything.
We should talk to her after she has rebooted the machine.
Moi je te laisse reboot alors. Moi je vais voir ce qu'il y a là-bas.
In white, silver, and apricot faience, the young mother of humanism stands above you. A crack runs across her body. She is impossibly tall, oval-faced and sad. A dark and radiant majesty. This is her innocence, Dolores Day.
Ah c'est donc elle, Dolores Day. Oh j'ai gagné 2 réals encore. C'est trop bien en fait, je deviens riche comme ça. Et je gagne 10 points XP, mais en fait, non, en fait c'est bien. Même si ça me fait chier d'avoir perdu 2 de... je sais plus quoi. C'est donc ça le fameux truc des poumons qui brillent.
Cradled in her arms are a pair of glowing lungs, clearly visible from underneath her flowing dress. You should kneel.
C'est pour se terner.
Your knees touch the floor. The floorboards are hard and cold. There you kneel among the snowdrifts, diffuse light falling on your hands from beyond the glass.
Fermez les yeux d'abord.
The world is silent, but for the creaks and cracks of the massive wooden...
Je suis communiste normalement, pas de religion hein.
...covers you from the wind. The ocean feels distant. Its ebb and flow blocked off by the centuries-old pinewood sarcophagus around you. The woman looks down at you kneeling. She towers among her followers, architects, laymen, courtiers. There is a sad smile on her lips, and a glint in her... She acknowledges the passing of someone who is still alive.
C'est le deuil.
As that terrible word passes through your mind, the lieutenant draws an X-shaped cross. Your fingertips touch your chest 4 times. Then you rise from your knees into the apricot-colored light of the window. Above you, the woman still smiles her distant smile, sundered by the...
Pour construire le vitrail.
Despite the damage you've done to yourself, the title appears lodged in your hippocampus. This is her innocence, Dolores Day. The innocence of humanism, internationalism, and the welfare state. Perhaps the most famous human being.
C'est la Sainte Vierge quoi.
No amount of Commodore Red can wipe her sad smile from your brain thing. It has survived the deluge and haunts you still, and will haunt you forever, as it haunts all men.
C'est quoi juste une innocence?
The highest category of historic individual, an embodiment of the world's spirit. More, an innocence is elected to office by the founding party, a precedent that has taken place a mere 6 times in the entirety of history. The legal system of the Real Belt is built to accommodate an authentic rule should it coincide with. An innocence is infallible. The decisions made by one are not decisions. They are inevitabilities. What would have happened anyway? Only accelerated, packed into decades instead of centuries. An innocence is a continuous, compressed event, a sacred human being. It is an honor and a glory to live when one is in office.
C'est le cas à l'heure actuelle?
No, we are alone.
D'accord, régné à quelle époque?
300 years ago, in the wake of the discovery of this Isola, the Insulindian, by explorers from the continent of Muindi. She is, among other things, the innocence of inter-isolary travel and the connected world.
Je sais quoi sur elle?
Many things. You know she was a woman of the court, the wife of an influential Marchese, and eventually the principal advisor to Irene la Navigateur, Queen of Serene, modern-day Sir Laclay. Also, that she was gorgeous beyond beauty.
Et quoi d'autre? Elle était intelligente?
Terribly, women of the court were expected to play both contract bridge and chess sufficiently well to prove an interesting challenge to a man. A simple grasp in matters of philosophy, theology, and science was encouraged. She was, by all means, a kept woman. She made the most of her position in the ante-Delorian court.
Ah, du lore. Ah, vous voulez du lore? Il y a du lore.
Prominent thinkers and artists of the day. In secret, she was becoming the era's preeminent philosopher of the state. a scalpel, a piercing gaze. She was an almost preternaturally magnetic and intelligent individual. To her contemporaries, she appeared out of time, a messenger from the future of the species. We all fell in love with her, head over heels. Even before she was declared an innocent, it was on her advice that Irene Le Navigateur sponsored a number of voyages into the Pale. A costly, often tragic endeavor, ultimately vindicated by the discovery of the new world, the piece of reality you're standing on. She was crowned 2 years after the first expedition returned, setting in motion what is widely considered the greatest era in history. The DeLorean era.
Après tout ça, je peux juste dire, bas les couilles, frère.
Wow, indeed. When her innocence was declared, and the queen she had advised for years fell on her knees before her, she was so overcome with emotion that her lungs started glowing in her chest. Bystanders reported golden filaments lighting the already sunlit chamber around her. That is why the lungs are the symbol of love for the cultures of the Real Belt.
J'en veux davantage, toujours plus, allez s'il vous plaît.
As did we all. The lands of the Mesk and the Occident, and even far away Supremwindi, altogether 21 of the 40 mundial nations of the time, immediately accepted Innocentic rule, even before her crowning. In a city called Advesperaskit, in Vesper Messina, her homeland, the name of the city means evening comes, but it happened on a winter's morning, with the canals frozen. She was dressed in a white and pearl dress, on an emptied-out plaza, with the crowd far away. Already, her Theriers, the secret servicemen of the Innocents, were worried about an assassination attempt.
Vous devez être splendide.
Oh yes, she looked like humanity's young mother, a perfect mother, insultingly beautiful. It was as if her face and shoulders and hands were covered in a soft down of underfeathers. You know this well. Midwinter snow was beating the cobblestones around her. A small attaché of officials stood by as her Theriers placed a white gold wreath on her head. The crowning was mostly witnessed by Secret Servicemen. One of the men in this Secret Service killed her 22 years later. A young man who had come to suspect that Dolores Day was not entirely human, but something else.
Quoi?
Something that had walked in our midst, watching us stumble for hundreds, if not thousands of years, until it decided to interfere in the course of our history. We were supposed to come up with this ourselves. Dolores Day was shot in the chest with a fowling piece 8 times. The man, thought to be insane, said he once touched her and her body had been unnaturally warm, like a furnace, and that sometimes, while on duty, he observed her forgetting to breathe for over 10 minutes. This inhuman quality was witnessed by many others as well, glowing lungs and all. It is commonly attributed to mass hysteria and religious psychology.
Ah, la religion.
Terrifying is a term too emotionally charged for your semantic memory, or what remains of it. Although she's often considered to be the greatest human being to ever live, there was something ominous about Dolores Day. Constantly surrounded by her, she was the most socially secluded and least self-aware of all the Innocences. Some modern thinkers would consider her a war criminal for the campaigns she waged against the Mesk state. And then there were the resettlement. The Mesk state tried to detach itself from Innocentic rule. Parts of the world were experiencing whiplash from accelerating into secularism. Her mandatory education programs and mass resettlement of upstream Marguerite were problematic as well. Dissenters were suppressed by a military force she called the Army of Humanity.
Sympa. Vive l'innocence.
Suggesting those who fight against it are not part of humanity. She adored chess, yes, but also military war games. Dolores Day often holds a tiny tin soldier between her index finger and thumb in icons such as this. She was also blonde, the blondest woman you have ever seen. With little is known of her Marchese husband. It's as if he vanished from history after completing his role, which was to introduce Dolores Day to court. In conclusion, yes, there is something lonely, paranoid, and even terrifying that people seldom mention. This subtle terror is part of her iconography.
Lieutenant Yefrater, you've stood there for over 5 minutes.
La voix calme du lieutenant vit dans la fraîcheur
What
de
are you
l'église.
thinking of, if I may ask?
Elle a forcément un rapport avec ton affaire. Tout un rapport avec notre affaire. Ouf. Et je croise un chien. C'est lui le tueur. Allez, ramenez-le. Cette grosse bourge. Elle est pas humaine, celle-là. Crier sale criminel de guerre. Cette grosse bourge.
I don't know about that. It was a different time. Either way, this church, the coast in general, we shouldn't linger here. This isn't a good place to get lost in. We should conclude our business and move on. The old woman in the village was right. This must be the DeLorean Church of Humanity in Martinez. It's a minor landmark, not easy to find. Most maps misplace it. It was built not long after Revachol's founding. 300
on the coast of an uninhabited archipelago where only animals
Allez, boum.
before
On peut la
in
rendre.
the wild reeds.
There used to be 7 stave churches on the coast. Les Sept Sœurs, they call them. The 7 sisters. Only one remains. The rest were burnt in the rev. We should be respectful here, although the building appears to be deserted. I do not believe we'll find anything connected to the lynching here.
Respectful? Is the lieutenant a follower of DeLoreanism?
Yes, we all are. Her name, body, and rule are synonymous with humanism. The laws we enforce are DeLorean in origin.
The woman looks by in silence, smiling enigmatically.
Elle ressemble à une largueuse.
It's not spiritual, it's constitutional. The DeLorean system does not demand faith, only accordance.
Dans projection analytique. Alors attends, parce que je crois que j'ai des trucs qui m'enlèvent de la projection analytique. Ça par exemple déjà. J'ai un doute je crois, j'avais déjà fait tout à l'heure. Ah si.
The mother of humanism stands above you. A jigsaw of broken shards falls into place in front of you. A ghostly reconstruction of the stained glass window. Before it was shattered, there was an older woman beneath the younger one. And a text. A light motif below them both.
Qu'est-ce qu'il y a des trucs de vitrail?
Unknown. A motor carriage? A gunshot? Someone falling into it? Or maybe just hooligans looking for something to
Qui est cette vieille femme?
The escutcheon on her throne says, Irene the Navigator.
Ah.
She is depicted as an older woman wearing thick-rimmed eyeglasses,
C'est
holding a
qu'elle
golden
avait.
rights apfel in one hand and a scepter in the other.
Ouais,
This
ça
is
vise.
the queen her innocence day advised. Above, small figures of wise men, common men. Worshippers walk up the stairs to stand at her feet. Secret servicemen, 30 years, stand in a row guarding her. It must have taken years to produce this work in all its dizzying detail.
Leitmotiv.
Below both women, in luminous black letters, après la vie, mort. Après la mort, la vie de nouveau.
Pour ça, son mot de passe. Ah. Après la vie, la mort. Après la mort, la vie encore.
And then, along the left side, après le monde, la gré. Après le gré, le monde de nouveau. After life, death. After death, life again. After the world, the pale. After the pale, the world again. This is the great leitmotif of humanism, a summary of the effect of the discovery of this isola, the Insulindian, on human thinking. A tremendous sea change akin to finding life after death.
Death, life again. After the world, the pale. After the pale, the world again. This exaltation is common in Dolorian sacralism. In the early years, it was even incorporated as the RCM slogan. No more, however.
Ok, raison.
It was deemed subservient to use a strongly moral intern-related motto. We already suspected of bootlicking. The sentence was also seen as too feminine. It was a macho thing.
Voilà, comme toujours.
Justice, union, prudence, and force.
Pas très féminin. Ça me plaît comme ça, au moins les... Savent que c'est qui le patron. Les quoi? J'arrive pas à traduire cet insulte. Je préfère l'autre.
So do I.
The mother of humanism.
Putain, mais je vais me faire des couilles en or avec cette putain de... Avec ce putain de truc là. Bonjour madame, c'est bon, vous avez fini de se taper? J'ai rien cassé, pas vrai?
No, you just printed out my personal log and wasted some paper.
Il ne serait pas par hasard la première prise en chute de Viral, le cataclysme?
Yes. Or no. Not anymore. That project is...
She doesn't seem surprised to be recognized. Rather sad. Something passes over her face before she straightens her back.
C'est qui en fait? Qu'est-ce que vous fabriquez ici?
I am Sona Luukkanen Kilde, the former lead programmer of Fortress Accident and RSA radios. I have over 16 years of programming experience, and I'm proficient in both Vox and Orbis languages. If you're not here to hire me, I don't really know how I can help you.
Did she say over 16 years of experience? She must have started programming when she was still a that still doesn't answer what she's doing in an abandoned church.
Vous avez déjà vu l'homme crabe?
No.
C'est qu'il est là?
Yes.
Oui, il vous a vu.
And I don't care. I don't care about crap men.
Le coup avec l'imprimante de sa machine, elle lève les yeux. Elle lève à peine les yeux. Qu'est-ce qu'ils font là toutes ces machines?
I brought them here. These are my machines. Please don't touch anything.
Pourquoi vous avez besoin d'une antenne là?
I use the AR1 as my RAIN prefix processing unit.
C'est votre radio ordinateur, c'est ça? Et cette antenne, c'est son processeur?
You really don't know anything about radio computers, do you?
Non, je suis un bidouilleur informatique de génie. Je sais tout.
Then you'll certainly know that all radio computers perform operations on air. So in order to gain more processing power, you need to invest in a good antenna.
Dans les airs, in the cloud.
I guess it is. So far I've been quite satisfied with it. Martinez is an unstable region with bad coverage, but it's not the cheapest one on the market. So I wouldn't recommend it for your regular red tape operation. Anyway, you should do some research before you decide to buy anything. Ask around, compare the prices. There are many. I'm working.
The machine seems almost alien with its pulsing core. The light casting her face in a strange shadow.
Could you just shh for a moment? Or get to the point. I really need to focus on something. So you do know something about computers. You're right. Prefect is used mostly by the government peeps.
Du coup, pourquoi est-ce que vous en avez un?
Because I needed something good for my investigation, and Reims Civic is widely agreed to be below all standards, so I had to upgrade. Besides, owning a Reim prefect isn't such a big deal anymore.
No, actually, it is kind of a big deal. You don't see ream prefects in every police department, for example.
Où est-ce que vous êtes préoccupé?
I know a friend of a friend who used to freelance for the coalition. I was actually aiming for the military-grade Reim Rational series, but couldn't find one. Prefect is mainly based on the same technology as Reim Civic, so it's kind of a rip-off. But it does have better compatibility with newer antenna models, so I won't complain.
Tiens, après c'est Bassindo.
They are connected to my Reim Prefect. Whatever you do, just please don't move them, okay?
Short and terse. There you have it. Whatever she's using them for, they're hers.
Great.
Qu'est-ce que vous faites dans une église abandonnée?
You really like those questions, don't you?
Je suis un flic, les flics posent des questions.
I'm conducting scientific research here. You can't throw me out.
Quel genre de
I'm
recherche?
looking for the location of a 2mm hole in the world.
Hein?
Wait, what?
Quoi?
She's looking for a disruption in the radio waves. That's what her personal log said.
Ah oui, c'est... Et c'était en haut, dans l'église. L'homme crabe, il l'a dit.
The lieutenant raises his brows, but doesn't say anything.
Yes, that's what led me here. But I suspect it might be something a bit more complicated than that. Exactly. What does it mean? Up to now, it has been impossible to say what it is because it's impossible to measure nothing. What do you think it is? What qualities does nothing have? How do you measure something that does not exist?
La conversation monopolise désormais toute son attention et elle attend votre réponse.
Easy. You measure it by the world around it.
Nous vivons dans un monde avec des trous. On mesure grâce aux données recueillies sur ce qui l'entoure, des trucs qui existent. C'est déjà pas comment je trouve à discuter d'un truc qui n'existe pas, alors le mesurer n'en parlons pas.
Exactly. Very true. That's what I've been aiming for. That's why I have those basins. I've tried using hydro transducers to record the silence. To find out where it begins.
Ah, hydro transducers. So that's what those water basins
Merci
are.
pour l'argent.
Devices for
Je reçois des dons. Je reçois des dons de l'encyclopédie.
But honestly, it's not progressing very well.
C'est où à peu près où on peut trouver le trou?
Somewhere underneath those roof beams, I assume.
only a faint crisscross of rafters can be made out from the dark.
Pourquoi cet endroit?
There's this place at the back of the church, a place where all audible vibrations seem to decease. I've named it the Swallow, and the higher you go, the less you record.
The Pillar of Silence? Are you sure it's not just an architectural quirk?
Maybe, but it's oddly close to the physical coordinates of the data loss that led me to this place.
C'est que l'Uncrab est installé.
I know.
Je pensais que c'est l'Uncrab avait une part d'ancienneté dans cette histoire.
I don't.
Dès que vous recherchez, n'avancez pas. Pourquoi ça?
Because it's just trial and error, trying to locate the Swallow, the exact point in... And I don't have a... You know what? It would be really helpful if you could just stop talking and let me
C'est
work.
tout ce que je veux savoir au sujet du terrifiant trou de Ménède, pour
Great.
l'instant.
Thanks.
Par rapport au trou de Ménède,
The Swallow, you mean? Great. Thanks.
de l'anodique danse
What?
musique.
I hate it.
I bet she hasn't even heard it.
Est-ce que vous avez déjà écouté?
Yeah. Like all the time. My tent neighbors don't really ease up with their partying. Maybe I'd have to be on drugs to get it, but to a sober mind it just sounds like uninspired rug whipping. No idea what it has to do with either dancing or music.
D'accord, mais une boîte de nuit spécialisée dans la danse musique, vous en direz quoi?
This is about those speed freaks in the tent, isn't it? I've got some news for you. It's not a nightclub they want to build here.
Qu'est-ce que c'est alors?
Take a guess, why don't you?
Un club pour les jeunes, une ménagerie avec des animaux à caresser, une salle polyvalente au profit des personnes âgées. Je pense toujours qu'ils veulent ouvrir une boîte d'anodique dans c'est leur rêve, ils ont dit.
I can't believe they got you so easily. Go have another talk with those up-and-coming entrepreneurs.
Good luck. I'm not coming in there.
Qui t'en ce que cela pense des boîtes de nuit. Ouais, on vous laisse. Bisous.
Hi again. So, how are things going? Goodbye, officer.
Ouais, mais j'ai perdu 2 de logique à cause de ça, je crois. Ah non, c'est de yeah. Merde.
Hi again. So, how are things going?
A number of things don't add up. How about gather around, kids?
Oui, je viens d'approcher.
The young speed freak puts down a busted the one with the large head seems very enthusiastic about their would-be leader, is less amused.
Et c'est quelques temps, je suis tombé malade. Je n'aurais pas vous dire exactement quand j'ai été victime d'une trahison. Mais j'ai été victime d'une trahison. C'est ce qui explique mon apparence spectrale actuelle. Mais avant d'en arriver là, je travaillais vraisemblablement pour la police. Merci de m'encourager, mais il suffit d'un coup d'œil pour se rendre compte que je suis un flic raté. Comme je voudrais plutôt bien, j'ai obtenu le grade de lieutenant effrator. J'aurais pu devenir capitaine. Imaginez un peu capitaine, ça a de la gueule. C'est quoi le souci? Egg a subitement l'air serein. Le disco est entré dans la place. Hein? La vie n'est pas trop... m'a trop défoncé, j'ai besoin d'un nouveau trou de balle, d'accord. Le disco est entré dans la place. Naturellement, peut-être que tout ça remonte à plus d'un millénaire, mais je n'ai pas entièrement perdu mes réflexes d'enquêteur. Ça a laissé entendre que vous m'annoncez quelque chose, qu'elle pense que je suis naïf. Vous êtes clean, pas trop dur de rester à la tentation? C'est pas un projet discuter, il n'y a pas de matériel de laboratoire dans cette tente, du matériel pour produire de la drogue. Et son pote, il a perdu son pote? Vous n'avez pas parlé de casque. Celle en a forcément besoin pour faire tourner ses platines, non? Vous savez du nouvelle pour son principe actif. De l'eau distillée et rien de tel pour garantir la propreté d'un labo. Et une odeur d'alcool dans l'air. Un dissolvant fort pour obtenir le principe actif d'une solution. Vous n'avez pas de casque? Arcel a besoin d'un casque pour faire tourner ses platines, non? Vous savez, vous l'avez mis en gage. Vous avez besoin du matériel et des ingrédients pour produire de la drogue. Et son pote, il a perdu son pote? Votre perdeur, il n'y en a qu'un seul?
This may be the brain damage talking, but you've definitely never heard of monodynamic or one speaker systems.
Putain, on va tellement gagner des points, des levels. L'encyclopédie, elle pop tout le temps. Regarde, allez, il boobe encore. Monter un niveau, c'est 100 points. Donc 10 réflexions de l'encyclopédie, j'ai un niveau. De cire, rien de tel pour garantir la propriété d'un labo. Et une heure d'alcool dans l'air, un dissolvant fort utile pour obtenir un principe actif d'une solution. Peut-être m'arrêter là, qu'est-ce que vous en pensez? On va essayer de vous servir d'un flip pour installer un labo de drogue. Contraire à la loi? Passible d'une exécution sommaire? Non, son rire est rempli d'effroi. Qu'est-ce que je vais bien pouvoir faire de vous?
He's almost ready to drop the act. It wouldn't take a lot of pushing.
On va se la jouer flic justifié. Vous commencez par vider votre sac, ensuite je dicterai la sentence. Dites-moi ce que vous manigancez de là, on verra si je peux me montrer indulgent. Il m'en faut pas mal de cette histoire. Tout ce que je veux, c'est boucler cette affaire. Faites ce qui vous arrange et je ferai autant.
What do you mean by lenient?
Je suis le plus gros ripou du quartier, vous n'êtes pas au courant. Je vais pas vous pourrir l'existence en me servant de chacun de mes contacts. Je vais vous pourrir l'existence en me servant de chacun de mes contacts.
He thinks for a moment, then opens.
Things are just way too hard for an entrepreneur in this city. It's not like we're not going to turn the church into the wickedest club in East Revershoal.
Because we are!
We just got to turn it into a speed lab first.
Bah oui. Ouais, ça me paraît logique. Pour qu'une discothèque fonctionne, il faut d'abord créer un labo de drogue.
You know, to get our foot in the door.
Et pourquoi est-ce que vous avez besoin de moi?
Like I told you, spooky arseholes moved in while I was getting all this stuff together. A month ago, the place was empty, and now it's all spooked up.
Ils ont rien de flippant en fait.
No, man, they're spooky, all right. It's just that they would also probably call the police if we started cooking speed in there.
But the sign was way off too. I couldn't feel the love at all.
Sir, you promised you'd be lenient.
Disparaissez, je ne veux plus vous revoir. On va faire ça proprement avec une discothèque d'individu sans. Mais non, c'est complètement con. Ah, ils ont encore rien fait. Mais non, ça marchera pas sans labo, mais non. On va faire ça proprement avec une discothèque d'anodique musique sans labo de speed. Je vais être indulgent avec ces jeunes. Je suis le bon flic.
I knew it. It's impossible now.
No, Andre, it's harder now. This hard cop has come to show us how much the fish is, and the fish is always so much more. We all know there was never going to be a club for anodic music with the Speed Lab. Now it has a fighting chance.
C'est quoi cette histoire de poisson? Donc vous aviez pas l'intention de monter une discothèque, c'est un grand vote.
There needs to be a club for anodic music in there. Needs to. Everyone hates each other. Everybody hates it here. It's all just drugs and we're slaves and I can't. We are running out. We need a win, Andre. I promise this will be a win. We won't cook speed in there. We'll do it clean. We'll do it true. We'll do it sober and real and beautiful. This will be a victory for the light.
On va dire que c'était de la prévention, mais je garde un œil sur vous. Voilà. Ils ont rien fait. Ils ont pas non plus commencé à produire de la drogue et ils sont eux-mêmes clean. On a eu notre analyse, je sais pas quoi là, qui disait que eux-mêmes étaient clean. Donc ils n'ont pas consommé et n'ont pas produit. Ils ont juste tout ce qu'il faut pour produire. Donc, pour moi, ils sont pas coupables. Ils vont être coupables d'un futur crime qu'ils n'ont pas encore réalisé. Donc voilà, comme je dis, c'est juste de la prévention, mais je garde un œil sur eux.
Okay, we'll try to do it without the drugs. We'll do a straight club up in there, spinning the maddest reels, and nothing but, I swear to God. Okay, Egg?
From here on, it'll be straight all the way.
And? What happened?
J'ai discuté avec l'homme crabe.
Oh man, who is he? What did you think?
Honnêtement, il a l'air sympa, il a encore une grande place à aspirer à la tête. Il m'a fait un serment étrange sur les deux bords de l'alcool. Ensuite, il est parti dans un délire avec l'amour de la mer, ou je sais pas trop quoi.
Really? Interesting.
Il passe ses journées à prêcher et à prier visiblement.
No matter. Is he gonna be a problem?
Non.
Yeah, Noid is right. Let's get back to the point.
These guys will never catch him. You will never catch him.
Pardon. Il se maintient en forme tout en accordant une grande place à la place. Le pire, c'est qu'il ne picole même pas. Je ne vois pas mal. Je me vois mal expliquer un petit comme ça. Il m'a dit que les discothèques ne le gênaient pas du tout.
A spooky guy climbing around when all the guests are trying to have nice, friendly hyper time?
Pas de quoi s'inquiéter, il en a pas grand chose à foutre des gens, ni de vous, ni de personne en
I
fait.
guess it's not a massive problem. Everyone is welcome to dance till the maybe. I guess we'll figure something out. Okay, but what about the other spooker? The one in Grandma's clothes. Did you see her?
En fait, j'ai parlé d'autre chose.
But do let us know if something changes in the church. Yes, a programmer. That's odd. What was she like? Did you ask her about
Il ne plaît pas.
What a pity. That's my favourite thing in the world. And she doesn't like it. A shame. What can we do now? Do you see a way out of this jam? And into a
Unity! Dance!
Je bougerai pas tant qu'elle n'aura pas fini avec son projet.
And you can't just evict her?
Non, je vais pas l'expulser, il faut trouver une autre solution.
Look at you, honor man. No, Noid. He's right. Maybe we've approached it the wrong way after all. I'm sure that if that's okay with her, we only want to get in the church and spread the joy and ecstasy.
The lines in the dark exist.
At least Crabman seems like an... Yeah, he can do his climbing thing in the tower. And the programmer, does she like anodic dance music?
Elle y prend goût. Normal, personne n'y réussit. Absolument pas, elle aborde cela tout son être.
Cannot believe what you just said. It makes him pump the jam a little slower.
No worries, we'll figure it out. If coexisting fails, you can always muscle her out, right? If it's all okay with you, what do you think?
Je refuse de la flanquer dehors, mais je peux essayer de la convaincre.
Excellent. Good luck, my friend. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Non, c'est pas les bonnes lunettes. Voilà. Oh, les allers-retours, quoi.
Hello again. I did, and I'm sorry. For what it's worth.
This is why I didn't go into the tent. Typical delinquency.
You don't get to choose your posse, they choose you. Mine are idiots, but they're mine. I tried to talk Andre out of it. I even tried not to lie.
Indeed, she merely tried to omit the truth instead.
De mettre la vérité si tu parais Dieu-même. T'aurais dû faire mieux que ça. Induire un flic en erreur, c'est sérieux. Je m'en fous, je suis loco. Je voulais juste que ça sache que je suis au courant pour le plan.
I know. I should have been able to control them. May I ask? What did you tell them?
Qu'est-ce que vous voulez avec vos projets de discothèque? Par contre, oubliez la baudruche.
Thank you. I'll get them under wraps, I promise.
Yes?
Dommage qu'on peut plus ça. Après, c'est. Il peut pas tout y avoir. Le jeu peut pas tout prévoir. Mais c'est dommage qu'il n'y ait pas genre une petite discussion où j'en discute un peu avec Kim. Voir un peu ce que lui il en pense et tout. Un peu son côté flic, lui, est-ce qu'il aurait, en tant que flic, rien dit et les laissé faire
Hey, her innocence Dolores Day liked little figurines, right? Liked holding little men between her fingers, remember? You have the headless Falcon Rider figurine. You should give it to her. Win her back.
Mais pas la reconnaître, c'est un personnage historique mort depuis des lustres.
So very, very, very nifty. Nifty and mysterious.
Je le fous. Et vous devez lui offrir tel que... offrir tout celle que vous avez un jour si vous la rencontrez en personne. Vous voulez un bien d'autres de tâches, mais voilà, pourquoi pas. Hein? Du coup, je les garde sur moi?
The mother of humanism stands.
Je dirais que je peux pas lui donner la figurine. Parce que c'est un vitrail.
That does seem to be a problem. Maybe you meant something else?
Comme quoi, est-ce que la mission est toujours d'actualité?
I don't know. What are we thinking of? Part of your mind. The mother of humanism towers above you. A wax painting. Why? That does seem to be a problem. Maybe you meant something else? The mother of humanism towers up.
Hein? Oui. Je sais pas, on verra.
Yes, what is it?
Vous êtes peut-être pas obligé de partir, j'ai discuté avec lui, il est prêt à se montrer arrangeant.
I don't want to make anything work.
Pas si vous voulez pas faire preuve le moindre geste?
Yes, anything. I don't want to make anything work.
La suggestion. Oh putain, ma suggestion, elle a pris un gros coup avec la réflexion. Suggestion. J'en ai pas là. Est-ce que j'en ai là? Bon, bah non. Suggestion. C'est dommage qu'il n'y ait pas un petit raccourci. Là. Ah, dommage, j'ai rien du tout pour la suggestion. 70%, on va peut-être. T'es y arrivé?
Hey, what makes
Non.
the world go round?
Non, c'est le mauvais note,
She
on a
stares at the terminal.
Dommage. On reviendra plus tard. On va laisser cette mission un peu de côté, on reviendra plus tard. Alors, par contre, j'ai vu que j'avais genre débrouillé un voyage rapide. Que c'est cette histoire? Ah oui, d'accord, mince. C'est pas ce que je voulais faire du coup. Il s'est passé du temps, 20h12. Si je me déplace ici. Donc, toujours 20h12. Je me téléporte. Littéralement, il se téléporte de coup.
Tequila sunset.
Très haute veste.
Ah, tequila.
Du donne la veste.
Let me see. What? This isn't my jacket. My jacket was beautiful. This is fucking filthy. What am I
Attendez à quoi juste? Ça fait une semaine qu'elle est dehors.
I'm not taking a disgusting pile of hobo rags. I'm either bring it back the way it was before, or find a dumpster to burn it in.
You know, despite the guano, it looks like the jacket itself is stain resistant. It may just need a good scrubbing.
Mais où? T'avais la veste sale. Mais je la lave où? À la main? Ah là, mais non, mais là, il y a l'autre qui est en train de faire de la lessive, là, non? Excusez-moi de vous déranger.
Our tenant, the policeman, I can wash it for you, but it's going to take about a half an hour. Think you...
I could use a breather. It's been
Oui,
another
justement.
track and field day.
Well, hand it over then. And I must say, I'm proud of this one. It's pretty nice underneath. Oh,
Anorak offre un cocon protecteur qui isole son porteur des dangers du monde. Ni le vent, ni l'eau, ni la boue, ni le feu ne vous atteint. L'indication 100% synthétique est inscrite en roulette sur le devant. Ne laisse pas passer la moindre particule d'air. Mise en garde, ces objets ne protègent pas contre le feu. Ah, c'est une bonne... C'est une bonne veste de tank. Tu pourrais juste la garder en vrai.
Tequila suns. My jacket?
A look of consternation crosses the man's face. He looks
What the fuck are you talking about, Tequila?
De quoi vous parlez, bordel?
Rosemary, what the fuck is Tequila talking?
Aye, that's the jacket you stole 2 weeks ago. From the kid who was making it with his...
That's disgusting. I've never done anything like that in my life. You're both delusional. Found.
D'accord, ok.
It becomes abundantly clear to you how this man managed to lose his keys, business, friends, and girlfriend.
D'accord.
I'm calling it. It's neurological.
À lui donner. Bah non, bah du coup, je vais la garder, hein.
That shit is so medium concept, I wouldn't touch it with a stick. But yeah, okay. I'm sure it looks great on...
It's an okay jacket, if you are into that look. Okay, let's step aside for a sec.
Ah.
I've been meaning to have a little chat with you about your sense of style.
Mais quoi, mon style encore? Mon style, qu'est-ce qu'il a, mon
I'm
style?
glad you finally started dressing a little more like an officer of the RCM. Keep it up.
Merci. Pourquoi il dit ça? Puis Garnier, enfin Garnier. Les messages, j'ai l'impression qu'ils ressemblaient à un boulet. Dites pourquoi vous portez pas un costard de Condé?
Officers above the rank of sergeant are granted wide discretion when it comes to their uniform. The idea is that civilians are more likely to open up to someone who's not dressed like a typical cop. You know the expression, the clothes make the man? The right outfit in the right situation can make all the difference in the world.
Ok, après vous habillez bien pour être pote de fringues. Je n'écoute pas les conseils du mode venant de quelqu'un qui s'habille comme un méga binocle. Oh, le connard. Je n'écoute pas les conseils du mode venant de quelqu'un qui s'habille comme un pilote de tip-top ringard.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
A warm smile.
Anyway, we should probably...
Oh, je deviens de plus en plus ami avec le petit Kim. Ah, je suis monté de niveau. Ça fait 3h30 qu'on joue. Oh là là. Oh là là. On finit la journée et on finira le live comme ça. Oui, mais il y a encore 8000 trucs à faire. Ah, mais je peux faire encore plein de trucs. Oh, il y a eux déjà. Il y a elle aussi. Oh là là.
Can I help you? What is this thing?
Par contre, ça me dit que ça pourrait rendre plus le mur. Je suis ce genre de flic.
Okay. Okay, well, this is actually a nice bird. A competent piece of taxidermy. I can fix it to the plaque and have a new bird in the establishment, I guess. So, I don't know. Thank you.
I feel good about our work here today. It's all about the little things, like bringing people random stuffed animals.
It's not actually about that, but he liked it.
Got the 20 real? Then why are you waiting?
Non, bah t'as pas voulu. Bon, bah, nique ta race. Moi, j'ai trouvé un appart gratuit, donc...
Oh, hello, dear. There you are again.
Est-il un scientifique?
Oh, yes. A zoologist.
J'ai...
Pseudoscience that attempts...
Je l'ai pas tué, ce dialogue?
She's used...
My apology.
It's not searching for...
The quality of research at Revacholian universities has been on the decline. But you doubt there was ever a time when cryptozoology was embraced by the academic elite.
En suggestion? Ouais, c'est pareil que tout à l'heure, suggestion, là. J'ai rien du tout pour la suggestion. Je suis pas la tête. Surtout que...
Oh, hello, dear. There you are again.
You're an enthusiastic idiot.
We don't have time for cryptozoology.
Oh, you don't want to hear about some old woman's ramblings.
Reflexively, the lieutenant...
Well, it was summer. I was building a racing track out of sand on the beach near a tall stand of reeds. Quite a tall one. Many times my height I remember. Ah, I'm getting ahead of myself.
5 ans et demi, voilà.
I was 5 1/2 in Betancourt.
Betancourt got bombed in the war. It used to be quite near.
The strangest moment of my life.
Je deviens riche, je me suis déjà fait 10 pièces d'or et un niveau. Boum.
Not like a plant, but like a living thing. It stood up and looked at me. Its body, I didn't know this can happen, so I reached my arm and touched the thing. It felt just like a stalk of reed, but it moved, swaying, towering above me. I tried, but I was only a child. There was mud and high water. I couldn't see it anymore. I ran back home to my grandmother and asked her if reeds could walk, and told her they were looking at me. For years, it was a story I told at parties when I wanted to impress boys. That sort of thing. Of course, most people just took it as a strange, amusing anecdote. So did I, honestly. But then I met Morel. We were on our first date when I told him my story. You should have seen his face. He said my descriptions matched the phasmid down to a T. Its white marble limbs, the way it moved. Our first, yes.
The sigh is tender. The sigh is tender, yes, but tempered by something else. A thought.
Not all of them, as far as I remember. Some of them. on the inside like stalks of marble.
Qu'est-ce que faisait-il?
It's hard to say how big things are when you're quite small yourself. To me, it seemed to be taller than I would. Of course, I've thought about it, but Morel says my report matches with the up. So how did I know what to imagine?
Ah oui.
It was only when I started telling my story as a teenager that boys would tell me, Lena,
Elle baisse la voix pour limiter celle d'un garçon.
you trying to tell us you saw the Insul Indian phasmid out there in those reeds? Get out of here. They just give me a cider and ruffle my hair and tell me to stop dreaming. But I saw it.
I thought it was a wonderful story, man.
You're welcome, sweetie. I do appreciate the chance to relive it. Goodness, how is he? Did he say why he has...
He's fine, ma'am. As we had suspected, he couldn't get back earlier because the water lock on the canal was broken.
Oh, yes. That's my Morel. He's bound. But I am so relieved to hear...
You haven't, however. There are dangers out there. Our aging body's foul. Now maybe she'll open up about those fascinating cryptids. Take her mind off. No.
Non mais putain. Une chance sur 4 de rater et je ratais quoi. La blague. La blague.
Everything's still cool. Tapes? You mean like music tapes? No, music is out. Don't listen to music. I sell tapes. Tapes are everywhere. They're worthless. Kids throw them in the trees. There's one in the bushes, right behind this lorry. No one would ever throw a good pair of high quality.
Montre du doigt la cabine vide du camion derrière lui.
You should have a look. It's better than nothing. The hawthorn tree on Rue de Saint-Gilles Lane. Bronze-colored ribbons of magnetic tape are caught in its branches, fluttering in the breeze.
Bravo, Bépine.
Patting the tree reveals a small sticker which has almost been worn to oblivion. It reads, RCM Emerging. The gnarled hawthorn tree on Rue de Saint-Gilles Lane. A wintry breeze blows by, with slow and deliberate motions, pulling, bending. It curls up into a mess inside your pocket. If only you could find a way to respool. Maybe Roy from the pawn shop can help.
What's the tape for?
J'ai le pic uniquement une fois que vous avez réussi à récupérer la bande. C'est pour Egan, je lui ai promis de rendre la reprise de Vanek un peu plus hardcore. Cette bande pourra peut-être faire l'affaire.
How? It's broken and unspooled. Do you think your new buddy knows how to fix it?
Si les Tars veulent montrer une bande de nid, il doit bien y avoir un d'entre eux qui sait réparer une simple bande.
You could also get it fixed at the pawn shop across the street. We shouldn't waste our time.
Good idea. He might have the tools.
C'est vrai. Mais avant de nous laisser, on va juste aller juste ici, relever le piège là. Si après pour dormir, il faut que j'aille au village des pêcheurs. Ouais, il est 21h, je vais pas aller me coucher, je vais encore me balader.
This trap's not too. The reeds bend forlornly toward the water. Some tufts have been crushed. The broken stalks, the constant, distant song, louder on this part of the coast. Nearer somehow. Nothing but locusts in this.
Empty as all of them. One more of these and we're done.
Tu commences à fatiguer?
No, I'm fine. I didn't mean to complain, it's just...
Je peux plus me TP. Pourquoi je peux pas me TP? Mais du coup, attends, je peux pas récupérer celle-là encore. Il doit être dessus encore. Bon, je revienne demain. Ah, il y a plus personne.
This is the last of the reeds hiss and shake. It's good the cryptozoologists left. The later it gets, the colder. Remnants of the camp the trap feels light and silent as you pick it up.
Ah, bizarrement, c'est dans le dernier.
No locust. No phasmid either, but still.
Well, the bait worked on something. This doesn't mean it was a reed monster, though. Unless you see one in there, I just see an empty...
The netting is a little untidy, messier than the others. Like someone or something picked the trap up and shook it before dropping it back down on the ground.
En fait, j'ai l'impression que quelqu'un ou quelque chose a tripoté le piège.
Perhaps our cryptozoologists have competition in the form of an actual entomologist, or someone else is sabotaging them. I could present more theories, but then I would be taking this on as a case, which I'm not.
Mais si c'était le phasmidier, s'il les avait mangés avant de ressortir.
Right. Anyway, that's for the cryptozoologists to figure out now. We are not cryptozoologists.
Mais quand même. Par contre, c'est quoi ces trucs là? Du coup, dans tous les cas, je peux pas me re-TP, donc je pense qu'il est trop tard. Il est trop tard.
It's getting cold.
Good night, officer.
Moi, je ressors, moi, bien sûr. Est-ce que je peux draguer?
Hi, the sea's gonna calm down soon. I can feel it. The wind is turning southeast. What's on your mind, officer?
C'est mon automotrice, on veut personne à la mer, mon truc.
Oh, that's good to know, I guess. Why is it in the sea?
C'est une installation très conceptuelle. J'ai vu comme un trou et par moi, j'ai conduit tout droit dans la mer.
An installation. Us poor people are stupid and don't get installations. All I see is a heap of trash. This actually calls for a funeral, I think.
C'est déjà qu'on fasse venir la casseuse de mon ancien motrice.
Aye. Feels deserved, don't you think? Falling in the line of duty like that and all.
Quelle idée bizarre, peut-être que je devrais le faire.
Quite odd. Our things are a part of our life world. They're made with our human sweat and they share human history. We should care about them.
Life world? Someone's been reading up on last century Gotwaldian philosophers. Play it cool now.
Oh yeah? You won't even be able to get it out of the water before early June. And where are you going to bury it? Who to invite? Take it from someone who's been through a few funerals. It's easiest to just leave them there and let nature take...
It's going to be quite a few years before nature is able to completely take care of a motor carriage. You could always come back in a few months and see if you still want to give it a proper send-off.
I understand, believe me. I really do. I think about all the frivolous side activities I could be doing, but daydreaming is a rich man's game. At sea, you can't afford to be careless and dream. Anyway, what are we talking about here again?
La suggestion, elle est encore plus baissée avec à cause de mon bonus de réflexion. Mais tout à l'heure, j'avais pas des bonus la dernière fois.
Unfortunately, the factory sold this one. Not really. I know some basic moves, and I know it sure as hell beats it.
But not when you're in a tight spot.
C'est bien ça que servent les armes à feu, non?
Guns are expensive and fragile, I think. Besides, I got kids. Can't have guns around them, and sometimes a sharp blade is... From time to time, people need a lesson in respect. That's just... No, I'm afraid not. Tempting to confiscate the blade I used to keep these animals in check. You would put me in an early grave. What makes you think that goes for men too? But they put on an act for us. Pretend like everything's good and living in shit doesn't bother them. No one wants to talk about how frightened... What makes you think that goes for... Sure. It look...
The traces of her laughter are still there. In her...
Some went to patch their wounds, their lesson learned. Gone. To the waves. The sea took him. It was a long time ago. He didn't respect this. Now, before you tell me how sorry you are for my loss, know that it was 4
Je
years
chie sur la
ago.
mort. J'ai oublié, je chie sur la mort. Je chie sur la
So
mort.
much mourning you can do for a drunk with sinewy muscles. Us working folk don't have the luxury. Life didn't really change.
This is neither a touchy. She looks like she's ready to go on a date with another, better, drunk. Ask her. Both of you could need some. Oh yes, she does. You need to get your drink on. There is no other way for human beings to procreate. Not after 6,000
Vous me faites peur car vous êtes une femme.
yeast cultivation.
Je vais me rapprocher de vous, il n'y a qu'une seule façon d'être intime. Oh là là. Depuis l'aube de l'humanité, Al-Ghul a veillé sur la Al-Ghul. Ah oui, c'est vrai. La procréation de notre espèce, partagez notre couche avec moi, célébrons le Ghoul. L'accord rend possible l'intimité, tissons des liens. Non, je veux rien dire tout ça.
Okay. Where's this going? Absurdly and pointedly phrased. You can be quite funny, officer.
She doesn't even understand. You asked her out. Perhaps you're too sober to pull it off right now. Try again later.
Mais non, mais genre faut pas être bourré, c'est complètement débile.
It's getting cold, this late in the night. An old mirror hangs on the wall. You see the reflection of your face in it, adorned with the expression. On the table, you see a bowl of water, a rough soap, and next to it, a small hand.
Hop, là, on va essayer de voir si on n'a pas...
On the table, you see a bowl of water. Like an artist with a brush or a master swordsman, you use the small mirror and the straight razor. The sharp blade chafes against
Oh mon dieu, c'est encore pire maintenant.
The surface underneath the beard feels tender. The air brushing against it, chilly. They feel so smooth, surprisingly so. A feeling of freshness overcomes you, as if you just came from... The water reflects back a vague image of your clean-shaven face. Despite the bulbous nose, unkempt hair, and persistent swelling, you almost look like a professional. An old mirror hangs on the wall. You see your reflection in it.
Électrochimie, j'ai beau avoir +3 à électrochimie. Je pense que même avec toute la bonne volonté du monde... Là, je perds en mise en scène. Et avec l'autre, là, je perds en réactivité. Ok.
An old mirror hangs on the wall. You see your reflection in it. The expression
Non,
fixed
mais
in your
8%.
image in your face. You're still not accustomed to it. Still not happening. It won't come off that.
Est-ce que je vois ce ding?
The bed is comforting, if a bit run down.
Il y a des trucs à faire tout seul. Ah oui. Apparemment, j'ai encore des trucs à faire. Bon allez, on arrête, putain, ça va faire 4 heures de live. Oh, la VOD de l'infini. Excusez-moi YouTube, j'étais à fond dedans là. Et moi ça, je suis un beau gosse. J'ai rajeuni déjà. Oh mon dieu, cette beubare en moins, j'ai du mal. Ils sont toujours là, eux. Qui, toi?
Boy, am
Ah, c'est
I
Gary.
ever so grateful to you, officer.
Ah, il est là. Ok. Bon, on fera ça la prochaine fois. On retient. C'est ce qu'il faudra qu'on fasse la prochaine fois. Allez. C'est bon, vraiment, on arrête là. Allez. YouTube, on s'est bien amusé. J'espère que tu as bien apprécié la VOD. On avance petit à petit. On a résolu pas mal de trucs là en vrai. Hein. En vrai, on n'a pas passé notre 4 heures juste à parler à des gens. Hein. On a quand même avancé pas mal de trucs. On a résolu un nouveau meurtre. Un accident de la route. On a pas mal avancé sur l'église. On a avancé pas mal. Oh. On n'a rien avancé du tout sur notre meurtre. C'est un tout petit peu. Un tout petit peu pour les vêtements. On sait qui a acheté les vêtements. Mais en vrai, ça nous avance pas sur savoir qui l'a tué. Mais on a un peu avancé. Donc c'est pas mal. En tout cas, je vous fais des bisous. Non, on fait pas de bisous ici. Oh. Allez, retourne à l'usine en tout cas. Et on se redonne rendez-vous pour la prochaine révolution. Ciao YouTube. N'oublie pas de t'abonner, mettre la cloche et toutes ces conneries. Allez, salut.